Hello and welcome into Tampa, Florida, USF-Rawlings Invitational on WCBN Sports. I'm Alex Miller, alongside me TJ Fossmeyer. Right now, Michigan getting introduced. The Delaware Fightin Blue Hens, first opponent of this weekend, just got introduced. I mean, 20 degrees up in Ann Arbor, 73 down here in Tampa. Happy to escape the warm weather. Happy to get opening day and some exciting Michigan softball. This is about as good as it gets. And TJ, we were here last year, thrilled to be back on the Donaldson deck here at USF. This is going to be a fun weekend.
Yeah, no, this is one of my favorite events. I had this circled even, as soon as we left Tampa, I wanted to come back, and this is great, and this is such an exciting season, such an exciting team from last year, and I'm super excited to have the whole weekend.
For Delaware, the lineup here, they'll hit first. Michigan will be the home team in this first game. Delaware, the second baseman, Katie Shivert, leads off. The designated player, Mary Beth Cahalan, hits second. Gianna Costaro, the first baseman, third. Morgan Hess, the starting pitcher, hits fourth. Sydney Schaefer, the catcher, fifth. Chloe Bance, the shortstop, sixth. Riley Thomas, the left fielder, hits seventh. Ellie Talley, the third baseman, eighth. Ellie Mulligan, the right fielder, ninth. And then Veronica Diomede will play center field and not bat in this initial starting lineup. And now for Michigan, they're getting introduced right now. They're taking the field. Batting order will be some familiar faces, couple new ones. In left field, Ellie Sealer holds her leadoff spot from last year. Janisa Conway will play center field once more. She's up at the second in the order. Maddie Erickson stays put from last year. Third base, hot corner, hits third. And then the freshman Lauren Putz earns herself the cleanup spot on opening day. Designated player. Ella Stevenson hits fifth, the right fielder. Lily Valamont, the catcher, hits sixth. Maddie Ramey, the junior, starts at first base and hits seventh. Avery Fantucci starts at shortstop and hits eighth, another junior. And then Ella McVeigh, the senior, still in the nine-hole, playing second base, rounds it out. And Erin Hain, the sophomore, gets the start in the circle for Michigan.
That's an interesting lineup. I think that's a huge vote of confidence. One thing that sticks out for me for Lauren Putz, at designated player, that's a huge vote of confidence for her bat. Putting in the cleanup, the lefty, coming in at the four-hole as her first start in the maize and blue, so I think that's incredible. And I think Bonnie, Coach Stoll, is going to get really creative. This is the largest roster in Michigan softball history with 25, so she's going to get creative, and I wouldn't be surprised if there are 5 different lineups this weekend, so we'll see.
Yeah, obviously the two biggest surprises are Indiana Langford not in the lineup on opening day today, and that was something we saw projected coming into this potentially. Obviously, Langford last year hit 2 most of the season, speed threat, slap hitting second baseman. Sure, we'll see her in some capacity, either in the order, pinch runner, some capacity. Got to get her speed in there.
You have to, yeah.
Then Ava Costales spent a good chunk of last year at designated player, hit very well in her freshman campaign, especially early on. She's not in there on opening day, but again, that's a powerful bat that I'm sure we will see at some point this weekend and throughout this season.
Yeah, and I think another one, the big question, there's great roster maintenance from last season, only losing Thole pretty much in the lineup, and then first base, that was a huge gap, and I like the switch to Maddie Ramey. She had a great walk-off home run against Iowa that I had the fortune to call last year. I think that was an incredible moment for this team. She got more reps in fall ball, and the coaching staff putting her in, starting there at first, I think just shows the confidence they have in her early on. So
Ramey last year, that was her only hit, 1 for 5 at the plate, had the walk-off pinch hit homer.
Smoked it, dead center.
But for Ramey, a player that's seen the field a lot last year, 36 games, primarily a pinch runner, has been a go-to weapon on the base pass for Bonnie Thole and company. She gets a start at first base in her junior campaign, and Avery Fantucci starts opening day at short as a junior. 2 players we've seen a fair bit over the last couple of years, but had a chance to start here. Moments away from being underway here in Tampa, Florida. Thank you all for joining us. Just a pleasure to be down here and have the opportunity to broadcast this. 190 to each corner here at the USF softball field. And here we go. Katie Shivert will dig in. Open things up, the junior against Erin Hain, the sophomore. Hain, right foot on the rubber. Here we go. Opening day, first pitch. Rise ball misses upstairs, 1-0. Hain goes to the rosin bag. You'll see that a lot from her. Takes her time in between pitches. Shivert last year hit .305. Good player for this Blue Hen squad. Ball 2 upstairs from Hain, 2-0.
Yep, Shivert comes in as a conference preseason team, so she's coming in, one of the top in the conference of the CAA.
This is a Delaware squad that's been very good the last 3 years in a row. Second in the conference last year. Here's Hain's 2-0. And that one clipped a piece of Shivert. She'll take first on the hit by pitch. The leadoff hitter aboard on a hit by pitch, and back to Delaware. Last year, second in the conference, a game back. Had a fantastic year. I mean, they went 39-14, 21-6 in conference. The 2 years prior, they won the conference.
They were picked this year to win it in the preseason coaches poll.
So Erin Hayne, 3 pitches, all off the plate. First pitch here, cut out and fouled back by the 2-hitter, Mary Beth Cahalan.
Had a phenomenal season last year with the Mean Green of Dartmouth. We called a game. She did really well. She was first team all Ivy. You know, she comes into this new program as a team captain, so she's looking to have a great season.
Hayne, 0-1 pitch, runner at first. That one fouled back as well. Hayne goes up ahead, 0-2 on Cahalan. Cahalan faced off against this Michigan team. She saw Lauren Durkowski when Michigan played Dartmouth last year. Went 2 for 3 with an RBI, scored a run. Michigan won that game 4-2, but this is a phenomenal hitter in the 2-hole. She's behind 0-2. Runner on first is Shiver. Hayne rocks 0-2 pitch upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no score. Top of the first inning, opening day here in Tampa. Katie Shivert at first base, aboard on the hit by pitch. 1-2 count here to Mary Beth Cahalan. Hayne deals home, misses low. Valamont got the glove down for it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Infield, outfield, largely straight on for the Michigan Wolverine defense. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner at first. Top of the first inning. Hayne, 2-2. Looper into left field. That's going to drop fair in front of Ellie Sealer. She'll play it on 1 hop, get it into the cutoff, Avery Fantucci. But a single for Mary Beth Cahalan. First 2 hitters aboard for the Blue Hens.
I'm sure for Erin Hayne, it's just nerves. You know, the first start of the year, first game of the year. Just got to settle down. She came up big last year in the regional in Stillwater against Kentucky. So she just needs to dial it in as the 3-hole hitter comes up.
Gianna Costaro hits third. 2 on, nobody out. First pitch to her from Hayne. A hit by pitch as well. I think that clipped the elbow there of Costaro. Everybody moves up. Well, this isn't exactly the start you drew up if you're Michigan. Hayne, a hit by pitch, a single, another hit by pitch. Bonnie Thole out of the Michigan dugout, third base side, to have a chat with her sophomore starter. And look, obviously this is, opening day. As you said, maybe a little nerves for Hayne, or just hasn't had her perfect stuff so far. But this is a pitcher had a great freshman campaign last year. 3.30 ERA is the regular Saturday starter in Big Ten play, sandwiched between the ace, Lauren Durkowski.
Yeah, I agree. And again, 2 earned runs against Kentucky and Stillwater. She's used to these big moments, and this is a big one, opening day here in Tampa. So I'm sure she'll be dialed in. I think this is a good meeting for Thole to dial in her sophomore pitcher.
Bonnie Thole back into the Michigan dugout. Hayne looks at Jen Brundage for the signal. Longtime Michigan assistant, associate head coach. Bases loaded, nobody out. At the plate, the cleanup hitter, Hess. First pitch up and away from Hayne. Ball 1 to Morgan Hess. Starting pitcher in this one as well as Hess. Had a great year last year on both sides. 2.33 ERA in the circle, hit 300 with some pop offensively. Hayne, 1-0 pitch. Wave, and it goes off the glove of Valamont, and a run comes across. Shivert goes home. Pitch snuck away from Lily Valamont on the wave and miss. 1-0 Delaware.
Again, it's a command for Hayne that's a little over the place. Valamont seemed to have responded pretty well, but the throw just late to score the first run for the Blue Hens.
They'll give it a pass ball on Valamont. Runners at second and third now. Costaro at second, Cahalan at third. 1-1, nobody out. Hayne misses up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hayne back to her rosin bag. Michigan infield pinched in a little bit here. All 4 infielders in front of the base paths. Hayne back to the rubber. Runners on second and third. She rocks and deals the 2-1. And found the inside corner. 2-2, good location there for Erin Hayne.
I would say great pitch inside, right on the corner there, inside corner.
1-0 Delaware, top of the first inning. Runners on second and third. 2-2 count, nobody out. Hayne the pitch, swing and a miss. Rise ball got her swinging. Down goes Hess.
Great pitch from Hain upstairs on the rise ball, as you said, Alex. That's all you need.
One down, still second and third. Not out of this yet. Sydney Schaefer, the junior catcher, digs in. First pitch, line drive into left field. Ellie Sealer going back. It's over her head and off the wall. One run home. Here comes Castaro. She will score. 2 RBI double. A frozen rope off the bat of Schaefer. And Delaware leads 3-0 in the top of the first.
And that was a rope out to the left center gap by Schaefer. Excellent piece of hitting from her.
Well, how about this start? That'll bring up Chloe Blanche, the shortstop, hit 6, the senior. Runner at second is Schaefer. First pitch to her from Hain, down and away, ball 1. Three to nothing Delaware. Runner at second, 1 out, top of the first inning. 1-0 pitch from Hain, just misses, down and away. 2-0 now. Blanche, left-handed hitter, deep in the left-handed batter's box. Hain checks her wristband, right foot toward the third base side of the rubber. Left foot back, she rocks. 2-0 pitch. In the zone for a strike, 2-1. Umpires in this one, Anita Robinette calling the balls and strikes. Chelsea Clark at first, Matt Jacks over there at third. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sydney Schaefer at second after the 2 RBI double. 3-0 Blue Hens. Here's the 2-1 from Hain. Wave and a miss. Big cut. No dice from Blance.
Good pitch on the breaking ball from Hain. But for Blance, she hit 327 with runners in scoring position, and Schaefer stands on second.
2-2. Here's the pitch from Erin Hain. Rise ball misses up. 3-2. Full count now. Hain goes back to her friend, the rosin bag. Will try to settle back down here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 3-0 Delaware. Runner in second, Sydney Schaefer. At the dish, Chloe Blance. Hain, 3-2 pitch. Line drive into center. Conway was playing in it. It splits her and Sealer. Schaefer gets the wave around third. She's headed home and up to second with a stand-up double is Chloe Blance, and the ball got away and rolls past second base, goes toward the Delaware dugout. Up to third goes Blance, an RBI double. Advanced to third. 4-0 Delaware in the top of the first.
Again, another missile to the left center gap. Not the start you want if you're a Wolverine fan.
Infield gathers for Michigan. Some action in the Michigan bullpen. I want to say that's the freshman Haley Ferguson out there.
Yeah, no, it's Ferguson.
But boy, what a start for Delaware. Riley Thomas, the left fielder, will dig in here now with Blance at third and a 4-0 Delaware lead in her pocket. Hain back to the rubber. Here's the pitch. That one just misses low, 1-0. Still a lot of softball left in this one. Top of the first inning, 4-0 Delaware.
Delaware might be riding high. They just came off a game where they beat Georgia Southern 4-1, so they're still riding high off that win.
1-0 from Hain. That one clipped a piece of the elbow of Riley Thomas. She'll take first. Third hit by pitch from Hain. And Bonnie Thole starts to wander out of her dugout. She gets a signal here toward Anita Robinette, the home plate umpire. Boy, oh boy. This is not the start I thought I would see today.
No, not the start.
And yep, Haley Ferguson pops out now of the Michigan dugout. And Erin Hain will hand her the softball. Haley Ferguson will take the circle for Michigan. Delaware knocks Erin Hain out of this game in the top of the first inning. She got 1 out, gave up 4 runs, 3 hit by pitches, a pair of doubles. And Bonnie Thole turns to the freshman, Haley Ferguson.
Yeah, and Haley Ferguson ranked third prospect in the country by extra innings, and she had a phenomenal two-way career. I mean, looking in the circle specifically, nearly 1,000 career strikeouts, .91 ERA with 77 wins under her belt. So proven talent in the circle. Comes in the freshman, Haley Ferguson.
4-0 Delaware. Runners on the corners. That's what Ferguson will inherit. Blance at third, Thomas at first for the Delaware Blue Hens. They've come out swinging.
As we talked about on the way here, I mean, we were talking about Delaware. This is a good mid-major team, high quality. Pick number 1 to win their conference. Everybody says, Florida tomorrow. That's going to be the big game. But this is also, quality matchup, and we can see it here. They come out swinging so far. 2 frozen ropes to the gaps so far.
Right now, a slight vibes difference here, dugout to dugout. Delaware. A bit of a do-si-do. All the players out of the dugout. Michigan, everyone standing top of the railing, watching Haley Ferguson get warm. Delaware struck first, 4-0 lead in the top of the first inning. First action for Ferguson. Saw her a little bit in the fall. Looked good. The first real action here on opening day, and obviously a little earlier than Bonnie Thole, Jen Brundage, this staff intended.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's just opening day nerves. It's still early days, but yeah, no, this is not the start Michigan expected at all.
Bonnie Thole heads back into the Michigan dugout. Haley Ferguson gets high fives all around from her infield. She takes over with runners on the corners. Delaware up 4-0, top of the first inning. 1 down. And Ellie Talley, the 8-hitter, digs in here. Freshman third baseman on freshman Ferguson. Infield in for Michigan, trying to hold the runner at third. First pitch from Ferguson, chopper up the middle, cut off by McVeigh. She'll go home. And Valamont didn't tag her. She had a stretch as if it was a force. There was no force at home. And sliding in safely is Blance. 5-0 Delaware.
Mental error for Valamont. Usually, a great defensive catcher. Mental error there.
I mean, unclear if she was intending to stretch for that or if she just didn't think she had a chance to apply the tag. I'm not sure if it would have made a difference. But she didn't try to swipe there.
Yeah, it looked close no matter what. I don't know if she would have got the tag down.
First pitch strike from Ferguson there to open up the 9-hitter, Ellie Mulligan. Ellie Talley on first, Thomas on second. 5-0 Delaware, 1 down here, top of the first inning. Ferguson rocks, here's her 0-1. Finds the zone there, 0-2, she's ahead.
Freshman looking good so far in the circle.
1 out, 0-2 count to the 9-hitter Mulligan. Ferguson, right foot on the rubber, left foot back, toe in the ground, heel in the air. Here she comes, 0-2. Line drive in right field. Ella Stevenson plays it well and throws it back in. Diving back to second base goes Thomas. She's safe there, but there's out number 2 on the line drive. Good contact for Mulligan, but finds Ella Stevenson there in right field.
Yes, there's some solid contact from the Fightin Blue Hens.
They're fighting.
On. Yeah, they are fighting.
I think that's so funny. The official name, Fightin, with no G on the end. And apostrophe for the Blue Hens. 2 down now, and the top of the order flips up, Katie Shivert. She takes the first pitch just away, outer park. Good spot there, down and away, just couldn't clip the corner.
That looked in from up here, but yeah, great location from Ferguson. Looks dialed in so far.
Shivert was hit by a pitch to open this inning. She's got 2 aboard and 2 down. 1-0, she's deep in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the pitch from Ferguson. Ground ball towards second. Ellen McVeigh on the charge, and she'll tag the runner Talley going first to second for the 3rd out. Delaware plates 5 in the top of the first. Michigan will get their first cuts momentarily, trailing 5-0 here in Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, certainly not the start Michigan was looking for, but look, you can look at it in a different way. If you tuned into last year's coverage of us here in Tampa, last year's offense did not get started until like 6th, 7th innings in games.
Yeah.
Now this is an opportunity. You have to get it started early. You have to get the bats going. claw this lead back. I mean, you can't. It's hard to claw back 5 runs in 1 inning, but you got to chip away at that, and you got to start early.
When you talked about this team, I mean, this was a team that obviously Michigan, by the end of last year in Big Ten play, had a phenomenal offense that was very deep 1 through 9 offensively, but they didn't hit that well in Tampa last year in the first tournament. Same equivalent here, USF-Rawlings Invitational, but trailing 5-0 to Delaware here, first inning. Connie Thole having a chat with Lily Valamont. I think she's just waking her up a little bit.
Yeah. In the offense, it all starts with Ellie Sealer, the leadoff hitter, all Big Ten first team last season. Has stuck herself clearly as the pretty much only option in the leadoff. She hit .438 as leadoff hitter, so there's no other person you want to start at the top of this Wolverine lineup than her, and she'll get just that duty here right now.
Sealer, all Big Ten first team a year ago, .341 batting average, walks a fair bit, walks double than she strikes out. Michigan lineup, Ellie Sealer, Janisa Conway hits second, Maddie Erickson third, Lauren Putsch, the freshman, hits cleanup, Ella Stevenson hits fifth, Lily Valamont sixth, Maddie Ramey seventh, Avery Fantucci eighth, Ella McVeigh 9, and around the horn for the Blue Hens. In the infield, it's Costaro at first base, Katie Shivert at second, at shortstop, Chloe Blance, at third, Ellie Talley. In the outfield, Thomas, Diomede, Mulligan. Schaefer behind the dish, Morgan Hess gets the start in the circle. Ellie Sealer will dig in here, deep in the left-handed batter's box. One of the senior captains for this Michigan squad. Here comes Morgan Hess, first pitch of the day for her, or actually not the first pitch of the day. She misses ball 1 there. Hess closed out Delaware's win this morning against Georgia Southern. 1 1/3, no hits, no walks, no nothing, got the save. Gets the start here in game 2 of the day for Delaware. 1-0 to Sealer. Here's the pitch. Sealer cuts at it, fouls it back off the netting.
Yeah, good cut from Sealer, but Morgan Hess walks in as the conference preseason player of the year. She was first team last year and one of the top pitcher utility players in the country. She had a phenomenal season last year.
1 ball, 1 strike to Sealer. Bottom of the first inning, 5-0 Delaware. Hess unfurls. Rise ball misses up. 2 balls and 1 strike. Schaefer, the catcher, pumped her glove at her pitcher Hess. She liked that pitch. No chase, though, from Sealer. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Hess. Sealer cuts at it. Fly ball to center field. Pushes Diomede back a little bit to her left. And she's got it. Excuse me, that's her right toward our left in left center field. Sealer flies out. 1 down, bottom of the first inning. Janisa Conway will dig in.
And Janisa Conway was hitting middle of the order last season. Gets the promotion up to the 2-hole here. Big bat last season. Struck out a fair bit and walked also a fair bit. I think led the team in both last year, if I'm correct.
First pitch off speed, drops on in there. 0-1, Hess ahead. Unlucky number 13, Janisa Conway. Hess comes set, now uncorks the 0-1. And just misses a little tight to Conway in the left-handed box. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lots of long at-bats for Conway. You talked about it. Led this team in walks and strikeouts a year ago. Has some pop in this bat as well. Hess, the 1-1. Conway rips a line drive through the 4-hole. She'll race to first, and that one's by the right fielder, Mulligan. Conway going to take this runner to second. Now she's headed to third. Bonnie Thole puts up a stop sign. Conway into third. I think you score that a single and then an error if you're keeping score at home. Either way, though, runner at third, 1 down for Michigan.
Yeah, and just as you said, the big bat comes up great. I mean, the right fielder and Mulligan, could not field that one because that came off as a rocket off Conway's bat. Just excellent play from her. And now you have a runner scoring position with Maddie Erickson up.
Mulligan really came up on the charge from right field. I'm not sure if she was thinking she'd have a chance to throw Conway out at first, because otherwise, why rush to that softball? Runner at third for Erickson. First pitch to her. Off speed. Caught the outer half. 0-1. Erickson, massive breakout campaign last year as a sophomore. All Big Ten first team. 16 doubles, 12 homers. Hitting in this 3-hole. Janisa Conway at third. Here's the 0-1, from Hess. Erickson swings through a breaking ball, but they're going home as Conway as it snuck away. She'll score on the wild pitch.
And there we go. As we said in the break, the bats need to come alive first to start chipping away at this lead, and that's what they did. 1 run first inning, just got to start clawing that back.
Base pass empty now for Erickson. One down, 5-1 Delaware. Here's the pitch from Hess. Up and away, outside to Erickson. One ball, 2 strikes. I believe held up by the home plate umpire, Anita Robinette. Scoreboard off momentarily. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Erickson. Nobody aboard. Haas steals the 1-2. Erickson ropes it into center field, and running back, not going to get there's Diomede. Erickson on her horse, headed to second. She's there with a slide. And boy, we talk about this all the time with Maddie Erickson, but she can just turn on a softball.
I mean, she comes in as the number 5 ranked preseason third baseman in the country and showed it there. I mean, from Conway and Erickson, that's what you want from the heart of your lineup. Just quality at bats, just some frozen ropes out to the outfield. And you put the freshman Putz in a really good spot here.
Lauren Putz earns the cleanup spot in her Michigan debut. She's in the left-handed box. Erickson at second, 5-1 Delaware, 1 out, bottom of the first inning. Morgan Haas steals home, and Putz takes it for strike 1. Outfield plays are fairly deep. No breeze at all here in Tampa, Florida. American flag out in right center field, not unfurled one bit. Wide stance for the freshman Putz at the plate. Haas the 0-1. This is upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike to Lauren Putz.
And Putz comes to Ann Arbor as a phenomenal prospect. Arizona Player of the Year, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year. National freshman watch list, comes in as 13 ranked prospect. And this is a huge pickup for Coach Stoll in this program.
1 ball, 1 strike to Lauren Putz. Haas rocks back. Here's her 1-1. Up and in, ball 2 to Lauren Putz. 2 balls, 1 strike. And we talked about Putz coming to Michigan. Probably not much doubt where she was going to go. Her father, JJ, was a phenomenal baseball player at Michigan. 12 years in the MLB, and her mother, Kelsey Colin, a phenomenal softball player for the Wolverines, 3rd all time in Wolverine history in hits. Putz looking to make her mark. Here's the 2-1, off speed, misses above the zone. 3 balls and 1 strike.
And Morgan Hess, her breaking ball is really breaking just from up here. Michigan's not biting though so far.
Three balls, 1 strike. Hess slumps the shoulders and deals home and misses outside, ball 4. Lauren Putz works a walk in her first college plate appearance. 2 on, 1 out. Ella Stevenson will dig in.
And that's phenomenal poise from the freshman. That breaking ball, did not bite on any of them. Morgan Hess has had some great stuff so far, and great job. Just pull back and just sit in the box. Just get on base.
Stevenson, sophomore, Algonac, Michigan native. Erickson at second, and Putz over at first base. 1 out, 5-1 Delaware. Here's the first pitch to Stevenson. She takes it down and away, ball 1.
Stevenson was unanimous all Big Ten freshman last year. Really came onto her own down the stretch, struggled to start the season, and as Big Ten play accelerated, she came onto her own, and she is a phenomenal foundation piece going forward.
Haas delivers the 1-0 off speed. Misses outside. 2-0 to Ella Stevenson. Five to 1 Delaware. We're just in the bottom of the first inning here. 2 on for Stevenson. 1 out. 2-0 count. She's in. Morgan Hess rocks back and deals. Stevenson line drive, caught at third on a line by Talley. Erickson dives back to second, no throw. Good contact for Stevenson, just right at the third baseman Talley.
Yeah, unfortunate luck for Stevenson. That was some great hitting right into Talley. Good play to catch up to that one at the hot corner.
2 down and 2 on for Lily Valamont. She's in the right-handed box. Stands up fairly straight in there as she awaits the pitch. Here it comes from Hess. Off speed, outside. 44 miles per hour on that off speed from Hess. 1-0 to Lily Valamont. Erickson at second. Lauren puts at first base. 2 down. Hess checks her wristband. Right foot in the middle of the rubber. Left foot back. Turns her hips. Now rotates home. And drops an off-speed in on the outer half for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Infield, outfield, straight up. 2 down, 2 on. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes Hess. Valamont cuts at it, fouls it back on the ground. 1-2.
Big hack from Valamont. She came on her own in the Stillwater Invitational. Came up huge with some, clutch hitting down there. 2-run home run against Kentucky. Game time RBI double against Northern Colorado. So she was huge to this postseason team's success.
2 on, 2 outs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big chance at the plate for Lily Valamont. Morgan Hess deals home. Outside, 2-2. Hess walked back to the fringe of the circle, now back on the rubber. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here she comes. Valamont, line drive played and snagged. I thought that was a 1-hop right at third, and it's caught by Talley, able to turn her glove in and snag back-to-back line drives to end the Michigan threat in the bottom of the first.
Man, 2 just unlucky plays straight to Talley at the hot corner. I mean, they call that for a reason. She was on it both plays, but, you claw away that lead. Now it's a 4-run deficit. Now you're writing a different narrative for yourself here in Tampa. Now the bats are starting to come alive a little more now. Earlier, more than just the 5th, 6th, 7th like last year. So, I mean, that's all you want now.
5-1 Delaware. Exciting first inning of play. A lot of offense.
Long first inning.
Long first inning. We got started at 11:40. It is 12:10. Half hour in the first inning. Nothing better, though. Haley Ferguson still in the circle. She took over for Erin Hain. Hain only got 1 out before getting knocked out of this ball game, and Bonnie Thole and company turned to the freshman Haley Ferguson. She's back out there for the top of the second inning. Her team trailing 5-1.
Haley Ferguson last season as a high school senior had 281 strikeouts. So again, this was another huge get along with Putz and Ferguson. You're seeing, probably your 2 best freshmen in this class early on in the season in the first game and in the first inning here for the Wolverines. You'll see a good amount here as Coach Thole experiments with the lineup, some defensive alignments. And that's what, you can get creative with that when you have 25 people on the roster, the largest in school history. Wouldn't be surprised if we have 4 or 5 different lineups, 4 or 5 different defensive alignments, and this is the time to experiment.
2-3-4 coming up here for Delaware. Mary Beth Cahalan, Gianna Costaro, Morgan Hess. Cahalan had a single her first time up. Ferguson on the rubber. First pitch to Cahalan. She was behind it. Line drive foul, right field side.
There's a bit of a family reunion of sorts for the Cahalan family. I believe her cousin plays for Florida. So we'll get to call her cousin as well later this weekend.
0-1 from Ferguson. Finds the inside corner. Good location there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mary Beth Cahalan's cousin, Kenley, plays for Florida. She was at Alabama the last 2 years, transferred over to the Gators. This Florida team that we'll see tomorrow. As here comes Ferguson, 1-1. Misses away, 2 balls, 1 strike. This Florida team is as good as anyone in the country.
Jeez.
Made it to the World Series last year. Preseason ranked either number 2, number 3, depending on the poll.
I think 2 polls have number 1.
Yeah, and they returned a lot of talent. Yeah, and you bring in players like Kenley Cahalan, a couple others. It's a really good Florida Gator squad. Michigan went 2-0 against the Gators last year.
Yeah, that was a fun one last year.
1-2 from Ferguson. Blooper, Ella McVeigh going back. It's overhead into shallow right field. Softy of a single. Counts all the same for Mary Beth Cahalan. She's 2 for 2, and she's on as the leadoff hitter to open up the second for Delaware.
And that was just outside the outstretched glove of McVeigh at second. Willing herself to get there, but unfortunately just falls behind her for a bloop single.
Pinch runner over at first base for Delaware. Veronica Diomede, who's playing center field defensively, will run for Cahalan. Gianna Costaro now. Costaro is hit by a pitch in the first inning. Gets a crack again here with a runner at first base. Ferguson back on the rubber now. Costaro in the right-handed batter's box, staggered stance. She takes strike 1 on the outer half.
Costaro came onto campus for Delaware. All-rookie team in the conference, has been a perennial starter ever since she arrived. Now hitting 3-hole for the Blue Hens.
0-1 from Ferguson. This is outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Anita Robinette not giving the outside to both teams so far in this game.
Ferguson, 1-1 pitch. Fly ball to left field. Ellie Sealer will trace it back to the warning track. She's underneath it. And she's got it for out number 1. Easy fly ball off the bat of Costaro that time. Drove Sealer fairly deep toward the warning track. No danger, though. Now Morgan Hess will get a chance to hit. She struck out in the first. That was the sole out Aaron Hain got. Got a runner at first base. First pitch to her. Up and away, ball 1. Ferguson takes her time, now back on the rubber. 1-0, popped up in the infield left side. Avery Fantucci calls for it, traces it back just onto the grass just behind the infield and has it. Out number 2. So after the leadoff single to Mary Beth Cahalan, Ferguson retires 2 hitters in a row. Costaro and Hess, and now sees Sydney Schaefer. She had a big 2 RBI double in the first inning. Runner on first for this time. Ball 1 up and away. Ferguson's tried that same spot on the outside half to open up. Last couple hitters in a row. Missed the corner there.
It was working before. And then home plate umpire Anita Robinette not giving it to her.
1-0 from Ferguson. Cut on and fouled back out of play.
Are we going to get a softball again this weekend like you did last year?
Well, don't tell anyone about that because I think we're supposed to return them technically. I'm keeping an eye over there. Yup, a little girl grabbed it and a USF employee made a beeline for her.
Come on.
So don't tell anybody.
Right,
I might have escaped last year with the softball, but nobody knows about that.
Yeah, nobody. Never mind.
1-1 to Schaefer. Good spot, inside corner, down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Schaefer.
It's about the netting down here. We can't catch one. That'd be pretty cool.
There's maybe like a little angle that can sneak through.
Yeah,
have to hit perfectly off a left-hander bat for us on the third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the ground. Past the diving Maddie Erickson and into left field. Base hit on the ground ball for Sydney Schaefer. She's 2 for 2. Now 2 on and 2 outs for the Blue Hens. It'll turn over to Chloe Blanche, the shortstop, hitting 6th.
Again, hitting .327 with runners in scoring position. Diomede on second, who is a speed threat.
Line drive on the first pitch, right at Ella Stevenson. She's got it. There's the third out. Ferguson strands 2 and a scoreless top of the second. Well, out of the bottom of the second, 5-1 Delaware. That all came in the first.
You know, and after that initial hiccup, allowing 5 in the first, Michigan has looked good so far. Trusting the freshman Ferguson in the circle, clawing the lead back in the bottom of the first. They have 7, 8, 9 due up for the Wolverines.
The main man, Owen Crane, in the chat asking for the broadcast cam. Hello, folks. Thrilled to be here in Tampa, Florida. Alex Miller, TJ Fossmeyer, 5-1 Delaware. It's a gorgeous morning here in Tampa.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love being here. This is, I think, one of the best events I've called, going back to back in the last couple of years, and it's been a blast.
Yeah, it's honestly an honor to have gotten to do this for a second year, and this is a thrill here. 5 games, 3 days, some really good opponents for this Michigan team, an excellent Michigan team.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much better than this.
No, I agree. And there was a certain buzz we were talking about this Michigan team coming off a Big Ten title championship last year. You know, coming in, not a lot of departures from last year. You get Regan Bennett from South Carolina, who I think is one of the most underrated transfer pickups in the country, and then you have a phenomenal recruiting class, and you have the makings of a fun season, and I'm really glad we get to call opening weekend down here in Tampa.
Absolutely. Even in a maybe more competitive this year in the Big Ten, with addition to UCLA, the rest of the West Coast teams, it's a Michigan team that's still going to fight for top spot.
Yeah.
It's a good roster, a lot of returners, a couple new faces. We've seen Haley Ferguson excel out of the pen so far. We'll get back underway here, bottom of the second. And Maddie Ramey will lead off. She draws the start at first base. 7, 8, and 9 here against Morgan Hess, bottom of the second. First pitch to Ramey in the left-handed box. She takes it for strike 1.
Maddie Ramey last season was, your first choice out of the bench as far as a pinch runner, and now coming in the 7th hole. And they gotta like her bat, and putting her in this spot, this early in the season, starting first base. Good chance for her.
0-1 misses low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hadn't mentioned it yet. Michigan blue pants with a maize stripe, white tops, maize letters. Delaware in sort of royal blue color with white accents. 1 ball, 1 strike, bottom of the second. Maddie Ramey leads things off. Cuts at that pitch and fouls it back. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the first baseman. Avery Fantucci waits on deck, then Ella McVeigh. 7, 8, and 9 for Michigan. They trail 5-1. Delaware played at 5 runs in the top of the first inning. Here's the pitch from Hess, the 1-2. Ramey takes it just away. Good eye. Delaware infield trying to give some energy to Morgan Hess. They liked that pitch just away from the corner. Good eye from Ramey. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Maddie Ramey. Morgan Hess pumps and deals the 2-2. Ramey ground ball weakly to second. Played there and tossed to first by Shivert. 1 down, bottom of the second inning. That'll bring up Avery Fantucci.
And Avery Fantucci from last season got a solid amount of playing time last season. A few starts here and there, mostly defensive replacement in the middle infield, and now gets to start at shortstop. She's got a sneaky power bat, beyond her defensive abilities as well.
Hess rocks first pitch to Fantucci. Caught the outside half for a strike, 0-1. Also, by the way, on the Delaware side, Diomede returned to center field. Schaefer moved to designated player. Cahalan now behind the dish. 0-1 to Avery Fantucci, one down here in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the pitch from Hess, off speed. Dropped on in there, good location. Caught Fantucci off balance, 0-2. Hess looks into the Delaware dugout on the first base side for the signal. Now checks her wristband. Right foot on the rubber. And here's her 0-2 to Fantucci. Skips in low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You're seeing up and down the lineup so far. Some good eye from the Wolverine lineup. Just patient, just sitting back, not getting ahead of yourself in the zone. Some quality at bats so far.
Fantucci wide stance to the right-handed box. Here's the 1-2 from Hess. Up and away. Fantucci lays off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fantucci twirls the bat up. Hands it around the numbers. Now the bat rests on the shoulders. Here's the 2-2 from Hess. Off speed, way outside. Easy take for Fantucci. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Great at bat to claw yourself back into a full count from Fantucci. Give yourself a chance with 1 out.
Infield, outfield, straight on. 5-1 Delaware. Bottom of the second inning. 1 down, 3-2 count. Avery Fantucci at the dish. Morgan Hess in the circle for Delaware. Hess, full count delivery. Fantucci pops it up behind home plate. Cahalan circles under it and has it. Fantucci retired. 2 down for Ella McVeigh.
And Ella McVeigh coming up had her career best year offensively. 313 at the dish from last season. This is not your typical 9-hole hitter.
McVeigh digs in a left-handed bat. Senior captain has played as nearly a full-time starter in all 4 of her seasons, or all 3. This is her 4th in the maize and blue. She'll show bunt, pull it back, and take the first pitch for a strike at the knees, 0-1. You'll see that for McVeigh. She'll show bunt, pull it back, and cut at it fairly often. A little bit more than a slap hitter in this bat.
Yeah.
Corner infield, though, pinched in nonetheless. 2 down, 0-1 to McVeigh. She'll show bunt and pull it back and cut at that pitch. Slice it foul toward us on the third base line. And McVeigh behind, 0-2 now. 5-1 Delaware, all in the first inning. Shutout second for the Blue Hens, and now Michigan. First 2 hitters retired in the bottom of the second inning. Ella McVeigh behind 0-2. She'll still show the bunt. Here's the pitch from Hess. Cut on and fouled. That got closer to us. Again on the third base side. McVeigh a tad behind it. She's still alive, 0-2.
Yeah, you definitely can from that. From that gap in the
it's a light
net, you
angle
can't
where
get it.
Something could sneak into us. You never know. I'm standing on that. 0-2 to McVeigh. Deep in the left-handed box. Relax the shoulders. Now squares around once more. Corner infield still inside. No crawl in as the pitch comes. Ball outside. 1-2 to McVeigh. Good eye for the senior Ella McVeigh. Des Moines, Iowa native. Hess comes set on the rubber. Here's her 1-2 pitch. Off speed, McVeigh on the ground. A second played there by Shivert. Easy toss to first. McVeigh retired. 1-2-3, second inning of work for Morgan Hess. And we'll head to the top of the third inning. 5-1 Delaware.
Nonetheless, some quality at bats. Getting some contact. You're not, getting terribly behind, and if you do, you're fighting back. It just steps. And now we get to admire Maddie Erickson's cannon of an arm that we try to mention at least once a weekend.
We've said it before, but if you're ever at a Michigan softball game, watch Erickson take grounders over at third. Just a different pop out of that arm. Fantucci can really throw it too at shortstop.
Yeah.
But Erickson's just got a cannon.
Yeah, it's a whole different zip.
Erickson has never pitched at Michigan. Initially, her freshman year, she was listed as...
I think last season she was listed too.
Yeah, she was listed like, I think, utility / right-handed pitcher. She's never pitched for the Maize and Blue, I don't believe.
Probably could, yeah.
Got an arm.
Yeah, no kidding.
Top of the third inning coming up. Haley Ferguson back out there in the circle. She came in the first inning after Aaron Hain and was dispatched. Hain got one out, then exited. Infield gathers for Michigan. For Delaware, they'll send up 7, 8, 9. Riley Thomas, Ellie Talley, Ellie Mulligan against the freshman Haley Ferguson. Ferguson, Fairborn, Ohio native. Phenomenal high school career. First pitch to Thomas, ground ball to shortstop. Fantucci backs up, fields it on a backhand, fires to first, right on the money. One down.
Great play from Fantucci at short. And going back to Ferguson, just both sides, she had a phenomenal career. You're just outside of the pitching stats, hitting 479 career average. I mean, doing both, effectively well. I mean, the reason why she's ranked number 3 in the country. And she also comes in as one of the freshmen to look out for throughout the country.
First pitch to Ellie Talley, misses up and away. 1-0. Talley picked up an RBI and a fielder's choice her first time up. She digs into the right-handed batter's box. Wide stance for Talley. Ferguson deals the 1-0. On the ground, Fantucci gloves it on a hop over to first. 2 down. Avery Fantucci made that one look easy.
A great glove on the rocket one hop to short. Just happy about that one. Great defense shown here.
I mean,
down.
That's just not as easy of a play as she made it look.
No, she made that look really easy.
Had to take a couple of quick steps to her left toward the second base bag. Just snagged on a one hop and fired to first. 2 down for Mulligan. She takes ball 1.
Valmont really wanted that one called. She held her glove for about 3 seconds.
2 down, back-to-back ground out to Avery Fantucci at short. Ferguson, the 1-0. Just below the knees for ball 2. Gorgeous, gorgeous day here in Tampa, Florida.
Beats Ann Arbor weather.
It just might.
It's a certain charm to both.
2-0, wave and a miss. Ferguson put a little extra pace on that one. 2-1. I haven't found Ann Arbor to be too cold as of late. There was that 1 week where it was around 0, low in the single digits. And ever since then, 20s and 30s just feels very warm to me in Ann Arbor.
No, that's true. There was that one bad week, but this is better than back home.
2-1, chopped foul behind the dish. 2-2 now to the 9-hitter Mulligan. Also a lovely thing here. Dirt infield, grass outfield, dirt warning track here in USF.
That's how it should be. No turf around here.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Mulligan. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, and good leave for Mulligan. Three balls, 2 strikes to the 9-hitter Mulligan. 7 and 8, Thomas and Talley both retired on knocks toward Avery Fantucci on the ground. 3-2, here's the pitch from Ferguson. Grounder to Erickson, she'll play it on one hop, fire over to third. 1-2-3 inning for Haley Ferguson. 3 up, 3 down in the top and bottom of the third. Or excuse me, bottom of the second and top of the third. Now Michigan will bat here in the bottom of the third.
They have 1-2-3 coming up. And Haley Ferguson has looked really good so far in her first appearance. Granted, not a start, had to come in and some unfortunate circumstance for the Wolverines, but she has, she's been great so far.
Still a lot of time for this Michigan offense to get going. They trail 5-1 in the middle of the third inning. Thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports, the official student radio of the University of Michigan. Opening day for Michigan softball. Just a pleasure to be down here in Tampa. We'll have all 5 games this weekend, 2 today. Next one coming against USF later this afternoon, and then tomorrow, Illinois State, and then the big one against the Florida Gators.
That'll be a fun one.
That'll be a fun one. And wrap it up Sunday morning against Georgia Southern, 9:30 a.m. So wake up with us on a Sunday morning in a couple days.
Your pre-Super Bowl festivities.
Pre-Super Bowl, tune in, Michigan softball.
Nothing else better to do. Michigan Georgia Southern might be a better matchup than Chiefs Eagles in my opinion. It's more exciting.
5-1, bottom of the 3rd inning coming up here in Tampa. Top of the order, 1, 2, 3 for Michigan. Ellie Sealer, Janisa Conway, Maddie Erickson will dance with Morgan Hess, who's looked very good through 2. Give up a run in the first. Ellie Sealer will dig in. She flew out to center her first time up. She'll dig into the left-handed batter's box. Hess back on the right side of the rubber. Right foot on the rubber, excuse me. She misses low, 1-0 to Sealer. Sealer stays in the box, Hess back on the rubber. 1-0, and here it comes from Hess. Sealer takes it above the letters for a ball, 2-0.
Sealer looking to replicate her first at bat, some solid contact. Out into center field, just needs to find a gap for that to land. And Conway and Erickson following up had a great first inning of work.
2-0, Sealer cuts at it, fouls it off, third base side. Out of play, 2 balls, 1 strike. Five to 1 Delaware, bottom of the 3rd inning. All the runs came in the first inning. Both squads, Ellie Sealer, the leadoff hitter, looking to get Michigan started here, bottom of the 3rd inning. Here's the 2-1-2er from Hess. Pitch misses low, 3-1.
I've been impressed with the patience of the Wolverine lineup so far, up and down, getting themselves into hitters' counts, making Hess work in these at-bats. That's been phenomenal, with the jitters of opening day.
3-1 to Sealer. Ball 4 below the knees once more. Leadoff walk for Ellie Sealer gets things started here for Michigan, bottom of the 3rd inning. And the sophomore Janisa Conway will head into the left-handed batter's box.
Janisa Conway coming to Ann Arbor last season, cemented herself as the starting center fielder and frankly has not looked back. Another foundational piece along with Stevenson, 2 sophomores that this Wolverine team should be looking forward to.
Line drive past the diving second baseman Shivert, and into second is Sealer with a slide. Base hit for Janisa Conway. She's 2 for 2, both line drives through the 4-hole on the second base side. And 2 aboard, nobody down in the bottom of the 3rd inning for the big bat of Maddie Erickson.
Yeah, and the big bat of Conway heating up early. Again, a stark difference from last season down here in Tampa when the bats only came alive down the stretch, 5th, 6th inning. Now it's come alive 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So, all improvement here so far.
First pitch to Erickson, line drive to center field, and that's run down by Diomede out there. Erickson had a double over her head last time up to center. This time a little less juice and a line out. Still well struck. 1 down, 2 aboard for the cleanup hitter, the freshman Lauren Putz.
Yeah, missile off the bat of Erickson, unfortunately. Just a couple steps to her left out in center for Diomede to make the play. Some solid contact here for the Wolverines.
Jen Steele out of her dugout to talk things over with home plate umpire Anita Robinette. Be a pitching change. Delaware will go to Billy Kerwood, who started the game this morning. Their win over Georgia Southern. Kerwood in that one was excellent. 5 2/3, 3 hits, gave up 1 run. It was unearned. She struck out 9 to no walks. And she'll come in here for Hess.
Yeah, Hess will stay in the game for, Diomede will be subbed out.
So we'll see where Hess ends up in the outfield. As of now, looks like she might play right field.
Yep.
And Billy Kerwood, the senior from Prospect Park, Pennsylvania, will get warm. Last 3 years played at Monmouth. 3 excellent years for them. 3.26 ERA last year, over 169 2/3, 33 appearances, 29 of them starts, 19 complete games, 3 shutouts, 167 strikeouts to 64 walks. Now comes to Delaware, and so far on opening day, or actually the Blue Hens opened up yesterday, but second day of the season.
Yep.
Couple had a good start earlier this morning and a chance here to escape a jam with 2 on, 1 out against the Wolverines.
Again, she comes in as a team captain, preseason pitcher of the year in the conference, and it's pretty much for this Blue Hen team. It's Kerwood and Hess that are the 2 top pitching threats for Delaware. Using them here against Michigan.
So Lauren Putz, the freshman, will dig in here. She walked her first time up. Good plate appearance. Just so impressive for the freshman to earn herself the cleanup spot on opening day in a largely stacked Michigan order.
Yeah. And that was the one surprise when we got the lineup sheets, seeing her in the cleanup spot.
Sealer at second, Conway at first. They both run well for Michigan. 1 down, first pitch of the day, or of this game, excuse me, for Kerwood is ball 1 low to Putz. Right foot toward the third base side of the rubber for Kerwood. Hands go above the head, and she deals home. 1-0 pitch misses low, 2-0. Kerwood takes her time, looks into the dugout, now checks her wristband. Puts the right foot back on the rubber. 2 on, 1 out, 2-0 pitch to Putz. Big cut, she swung right through, 2-1.
Huge swing from Putz. Here in a big spot with 2 on.
Two balls and 1 strike. Kerwood deals. Putz wave and a miss out in front of an off-speed pitch. 2-2 now. Five to 1 Delaware. The runs came in the first inning. Two balls, 2 strikes to Lauren Putz. Here comes Kerwood. Wave and a miss. Goes down and away and struck out Lauren Putz. 2 down and 2 on for Ella Stevenson.
So aggressive swings from Lauren Putz, the freshman. Really wanted to make a difference in this game.
Stevenson lined out her first time up. Sealer at second, Conway at first, 2 down. Here's the first pitch to Ella Stevenson. She cuts at it, fouls it back. It'll just drift out of play. Mary Beth Cahalan ran out of room behind the dish.
Lucky to just sneak into the net there.
For the Delaware outfield, it's Mulligan now in center with Hess playing right, Thomas still in left. 0-1 to Ella Stevenson, 2 aboard. Her fellow outfielders, Sealer and Conway. Here's the 0-1 from Kerwood. Strike on the inner half, 0-2. Stevenson twirls the bat up, takes a half cut. Now waits here behind 0-2. Hands moving up and down behind her helmet. Here's the 0-2 pitch. On the ground, well struck. Played it short there by Blanche. She'll throw to first. And in time, just in time from Blanche The exchange, glove to throwing hand, a little bobbled, but in time to cut down Stevenson, and Kerwood does the job out of the pen. Strands 2, and Delaware still leads 5-1 after 3 innings here in Tampa.
And that was a close play at first. Again, Blanche just bobbling that enough to make it close. And that would have been a big break for the Wolverines. A bases loaded there with 2 outs. Nonetheless, it'll flip over as we move into the 4th.
My apologies for forgetting to change the scorecard of to the bottom of the 3rd last time up. Top of the 4th now here. 5-1 Delaware. Haley Ferguson, the freshman, back in the circle. Once again, it was Erin Hain who got the start. She got knocked out of the game after getting just 1 out. Ferguson came in relief there in the 1st inning. Has been in ever since. And for Ferguson, 2 2/3, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks.
And she has looked great out of the pen in her first appearance in the maize and blue, just keeping it as it is with a 5-1 score, and that's all you need from the freshman. Just, you know, you got to give your offense a chance to chip this lead away.
Delaware will get their top of the order. Katie Shivert, Mary Beth Cahalan, Gianna Costaro. No waltz with the freshman Haley Ferguson. Gorgeous day here in Tampa, Florida. No wind.
Except here in the Donaldson deck, we're in a wind tunnel.
That we are. A little breezy up here. Not too bad. Keeping us a little cool. First pitch to Shivert. She squared around, and she went around on the bunt for a strike on a rise ball upstairs. Shivert hit by pitch and a fielder's choice. Leadoff hitter looks to get things started here for Delaware. Upstairs from Ferguson, 1 ball, 1 strike. Shivert last year hit .305, on base percentage up at .368. Good speed as well, stole 12 bags on 13 attempts. Largely a prototypical leadoff hitter in the right-handed box though. Here's the 1-1. Well struck, fair ball past Maddie Ayers, who was playing, pitched in at 3rd. It'll go to the wall. Sealer will fire it into the cutoff player, Fantucci, and up to 2nd with a leadoff double here in the 3rd is Katie Shivert.
Rocket off the bat of Shivert. Erickson cannot catch up to it, just down the line, perfectly placed for the double. Now I got a runner in scoring position for the Blue Hens.
Mary Beth Cahalan now with a speedy runner 2nd in Shivert. Nobody gone. First pitch, wave and a miss. Ferguson went toward the outside, got a swing and a miss. Ferguson looks in to Jennifer Brundage for the signal. Brundage, your 27. 3rd is the associate head coach, Devani Thole. 0-1. Did she go around? Yes, she did on a pitch upstairs. 0-2 now to Cahalan. Ferguson gave up the leadoff double to Shivert. Now she's ahead 0-2 on Mary Beth Cahalan. Ferguson uncorks. That one fought off, out of play, into the sky by Cahalan. Ferguson still ahead, 0-2, infield and outfield, straight on against Cahalan. Conway not particularly deep in center field. Corners a little further back, particularly Sealer in left. Ferguson, 0-2 pitch. Just misses. Imagine Robinette called that a little low. Valamont held the glove there. She wanted the call. Instead, 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Cahalan.
Yeah, Michigan dugout really wanted that one called.
Either way, that's a good spot for Ferguson to be. At the knees.
Good eye from Cahalan, though, too.
Ferguson 1-2, fought off behind the dish. Valamont runs back and runs into the netting. Softball went off the netting as well, had no chance to make a play. Smile, though, on the face of Valamont. She'll bounce back up.
And Valamont, she's a great defensive catcher. Just hyper vigilant when any runner's on. She's immediately out of her stance. Just hustles for everything. Just phenomenal behind the dish for Michigan.
Cahalan 2 for 2 today. Runner at second for 1-2 count, 5-1 Delaware here in the top of the 4th inning. Chance to drive another one. Ferguson trying to put her away. Here's the 1-2, up and away outside. 2-2. Ferguson checks the wristband. Now comes set. Here's her 2-2. Fly ball deep to left field. Sealer going back to the warning track. She's got it one step in front of the wall. Tagging to third is Scheibert. She's there with a slide. Cahalan missed the 2-run homer by about a foot out in left field.
Yeah, that had some juice on it. Fortunate break for the Wolverines. Great play for Sealer. She was bounding towards the wall.
Bonnie Thole comes out of the Michigan dugout, chatting with first base umpire Chelsea Clark. Perhaps asking if, the only thing I can think of is Scheibert left early from second going to third on that tag.
I didn't see that as it was going. I didn't see it. I don't know.
Bonnie Thole still out there talking about it. And they're going to go to review here. Well, Bonnie Thole coming out of the dugout at least gives her a chance here, and they'll take a look to see if Katie Scheibert left early tagging up on the fly out to left field going second to third.
Yeah, I didn't see it when the play was going. I don't know.
But they'll take a look at this. I had my eye on Sealer in the throw coming into the cutoff. We'll see what comes out of this review.
I mean, it was deep enough to make any, tag up attempt, plausible. So I thought it was a good move from Scheibert, but I didn't check if she left early. I don't know.
5-1 Delaware, top of the 4th inning here in Tampa. Delaware struck in the top of the 1st inning. The Blue Hens scored 5. Michigan got one back right in the bottom of the 1st. Scoreless 2nd for both sides. Scoreless 3rd for both sides. Now we're in the top of the 4th inning. And the Blue Hens trying to plate a run off of Haley Ferguson. They'll go to the review to see if Scheibert left early on the tag. Thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports, the official student radio of the University of Michigan. Opening day for Michigan softball doesn't get any better than this, though of course you'd love for the Wolverines to crawl back into this one, 4-run deficit.
Yeah, I mean, certainly better than classes. I know you don't have any, you're lucky enough to not have any Friday classes. So.
No Friday classes for me. Big
Sorry,
man on campus now.
325, couldn't make it. It was better anyway. More exciting.
Still taking a look at this one. 5-1 Delaware. 1 out. One out in the top of the 4th inning. I didn't notice if, I actually not sure if I know the ruling, if Michigan throws back to the bag for an appeal of that sort, if they go to review, is that an out if she left early and Michigan gets the bag? I imagine that they did.
Just in case. I didn't even notice
but
that.
If it goes to review, I would imagine that you can overturn that to an out if she left early rather than just sending her back to second base.
If they cover the bag, yeah, I don't know. I think this happened before that we call. I forgot how it was decided.
We'll see what comes to this review. Of course, very much possible that Scheibert left right on time, tagged up to third, and that's what she'll be with 1 out.
I mean, much better for Ferguson as well. I mean, this has really been the first test, other than her, getting into the game in the 1st inning. This is another first test. Otherwise, she's pretty much gone through this lineup pretty unproblematic so far. They're still looking at it.
Still looking at it. A little bit of dancing going on in the Michigan infield. They try to stay loose. Ferguson also will try to stay warm. She'll throw a couple pitches to Lily Valamont. The star on the on-deck circle, try to time her up.
Got all the time in the world to do that.
McVeigh Ramey, right side of the infield, having a nice time dancing in front of the second base bag for the Wolverines.
Well, the outfield, Janice Conway's having fun too.
Conway's got her glove off at her feet. And out comes this crew, and she's safe at third base. Tag on time for Shivert, so she's there with one out. 5-1 Delaware lead. It's as if nothing happened. Costaro will bat with a runner on third and Katie Shivert. Michigan brings all four infielders in to try to hold Shivert at third. First pitch to Costaro, up and away, ball one. Big hole up the middle right now in this Michigan infield. 1-0 to Costaro. Oh, come on. Just misses down and away, 2-0.
Great pitch location from Ferguson there. That looked in from up here, but nonetheless, ball 2-0.
Ferguson, long look into the dugout at Jennifer Brundage. Now checks her wristband and puts the right foot back on the rubber.
Pitch clock.
Pitch clock wound down. Pitch up and away. 3-0 now. Long stoppage. Ferguson command a little loose here to open up Costaro. Of course, doesn't want to give up anything too easy with a runner at third base. One down. 3-0, where does she go? Here's the pitch. Misses up and away, ball four. Four-pitch walk for Gianna Costaro. She'll be on first. Runners on the corners, one down for the cleanup hitter, Morgan Hess. First pitch to Hess, fly ball deep to center field. Janisa Conway racing back, and it's over her head, and it's off the wall. One run home, and Shivert pumping to third and sliding there is Costaro. Hess held it first by a good throw in from Conway, but a long RBI single. 6-1 Delaware.
That might be the longest single I've seen, but it's a great hitting from Morgan Hess, and that's why she's coming in as one of the best hitters in the conference. Came up big, 6-1.
Jennifer Brundage out of the Michigan dugout to chat things over with Ferguson. If I'm not mistaken, Lauren Durkowski's up and throwing in the Michigan bullpen.
Yeah, I noticed that.
We'll see if Wolverine squad goes to Durkowski in this game. I imagine she's going to throw game 2 today against USF.
And that's what we were talking about before. Does she, take opening day, or does she take the arguably harder opponent in South Florida? So she'll probably get that one later today. Excited to see her first outing of the season. Always fun to watch her in the circle.
Long chat for Brundage. Now she'll exit the circle. Couple last words for Lily Valamont as she walks back into the dugout. Bit of a jam here for Haley Ferguson. One run already crossing the frame, and runners back on the corners. Costaro at third, Hess at first for Sydney Schaefer, who's 2 for 2 with a double and a single today. Infield in once more for Michigan. First pitch to Schaefer is just outside, 1-0.
Ferguson looked a little frustrated about the call back there. And I'd agree, the umpire has not been giving her the outside at all in this game.
1-0. Off speed drops on in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. All 4 infielders in a fair bit for Michigan. Want to hold Castaro at third. Runners on the corners. 1 out for Schaefer. 1-1 pitch fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ferguson ahead. She's yet to strike out a hitter in her debut today. Runners on the corners, infield in, 1 out, 1-2 count. Ferguson uncorks, fly ball down the right field line. That will drift foul. Schaefer a little bit behind that pitch from Haley Ferguson. Count stays 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners on the corners. Wide stance for Schaefer. She has to protect 1 and 2, trying to drive in a run. Ground ball ripped past Erickson. It got off her glove. And going home is Castaro. Erickson was playing in on a line drive, had it dive toward the third base line. It came off her glove on the backhand. And a run comes across, 7-1 Delaware.
And she was initially on that play off the rocket, but I think the runner in Castaro messed it up a little bit. Just having her there messed up her reaction a little bit to allow it to trickle in for the run to score. Unfortunate break for the Wolverines.
If Erickson can snag that, that's an incredible play. Correctly scored a single for Schaefer. Now Chloe Blantz takes strike 1. Runners on first and second for Hess at second, Schaefer at first. Blue Hens still looking for more. 7-1 Delaware in the top of the 4th inning. Oh, 1 from Ferguson. Sliced foul up toward us on the third base side.
Nearly up here in the Johnson deck.
Home plate umpire Anita Robinette needs some new softballs. They'll be delivered for her from the Delaware dugout by Marlena Capaldi. Started game 1 this morning, not in the lineup against Michigan. 0-2 to Chloe Blantz, 2 on, 1 down. Ferguson trying to put her away here. Hess at second, Schaefer at first. Ferguson checks the wristband, right foot on the rubber, left foot back. And she rocks and fires. Fly ball, shallow right center field. Conway calls off Stevenson, it's under it. No tag comes. Hess stunted toward third, didn't go. Not deep enough. There's out number 2, top of the 4th inning.
Yeah, Hess thought better of that one. She would have been out by a mile there. Good hold up at second.
Strong arm for Conway in center field. That'll bring up Riley Thomas, the left fielder. Hit by a pitch and a ground out to her name so far. 2 on, 2 out, 7-1 Delaware lead, top of the 4th inning. Ferguson delivers, misses down and in, 1-0. Infield back now with 2 outs for Michigan. 1-0, wave and a miss. Thomas out in front of the off speed, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's certainly a confidence booster for Ferguson to make Thomas look foolish on the breaking ball. Good stuff in the circle.
Ferguson back on the rubber. Here's her 1-1. That one fouled off by Thomas. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. 2 aboard. 2 down. Ferguson twirls home upstairs. Two balls, 2 strikes. Big plate appearance here for Sydney Thomas. 2 on, 2 out. Her team already up 7-1. Chance for some more insurance Here in the top of the fourth, Ferguson 2-2, just outside. Close pitch, couldn't find the corner, 3-2 now.
Yeah, Ferguson's really found a home with that outside so far. It's proved effective so far until this inning.
Full count delivery on the ground. Fantucci plays it, goes to second in time.
Ooh.
Not by much. Boy, for a second I thought Fantucci made an ill-advised choice to turn the ball to second instead of firing to first.
I'd be shocked if Delaware didn't challenge that.
And asking for that same review, Jen Steele just put her hands up to her head, signed for the review. See if she gets it, and boy,
yeah,
they'll take a look in live. Schaefer very well might have been safe at second. Fantucci couldn't really charge that
just
ball.
Reversed it. Michigan defense coming back out.
Fantucci couldn't really charge that ball coming to short with Hess running in front of her, going second to third, but I think she might have had a better play at first, but obviously things happen so quickly. Tried to make the shorter turn to second to McVeigh.
Yeah. I think in her head, as the grounder was coming towards her, she had to hesitate, get to that one. She's immediately thinking second. You're right, it's the easier throw, but once she had to hesitate, I think first was a higher percentage after that, but, exactly right. You're in your head in the moment. I'd be shocked if this was upheld.
So they're taking a look at this. I mean, if there's one person on this whole field that knows, Ella McVeigh should probably know.
She hesitated. I think she knew.
Or if she got that ball in the glove in time. But so if this is overturned to a fielder's choice and everyone is safe, that would leave the bases loaded and 2 outs for Ellie Talley, the 8-hitter. And Delaware already up 7-1 in the top of the fourth inning. Boy, Ferguson there in a full count got exactly what she wanted, an easy grounder to shortstop, but might not have gotten the third out she needed.
Yeah, I mean, just the hesitation with the runner coming and Hess from second, and that just was enough to disrupt the play. And yeah, I'd be shocked if this was upheld. I think Ella McVeigh knew it. She hesitated. I think she was shocked that the runner was called out at second. So we'll see here.
That we will.
Close play nonetheless.
Close play nonetheless. 7-1 Delaware. 5 of those runs came in the first, 2 more in this frame here at the top of the fourth.
We have Talley come up next, who's 0 for 2. Still a tough out, bases loaded, and already a 6-run deficit for the Wolverines. Again, not the start Michigan expected in this one. Still a lot of ball, though.
Still a lot of game to be played, and still a lot of season to be played, of course. First game of the year.
I mean, you can't expect, this early part of the season to go perfect the way you want it to. You're going to have hiccups. Last year, this team had hiccups in other early season tournaments, came back, won the Big Ten tournament. So, you never know.
Michigan didn't start out perfectly at this Invitational last year and obviously ended up, as you said, Big Ten championship, second in the conference regular season. Won a couple games in their regional in the NCAA tournament. I think this year there are expectations for more. Now this group, a lot of returning players, has been there. You've been to you've won a Big Ten tournament. You've been to a regional. Won a couple games in a regional. It's a lot to. I mean, I think the expectations are a little bit higher on this team now. This is a very, monumental senior class. Lauren Drukowski's last ride, Ellie Sealer, Ella McVeigh, some pivotal pieces. And I think this team's built very well for the future, especially with all these young bats. But Drukowski's such a weapon as a workhorse ace. This is kind of a year that you feel like Michigan has to take advantage. And they'll stick with an out on the review.
Wow, really? As we were talking, I thought in the back of my head, I thought this would be a quick review, and it's safe. But wow, I did not expect that.
To the bottom of the fourth we go. 7-1 Delaware. Michigan trails by 6. They'll have 3 more chances at the dish. It'll be 6, 7, 8 to begin the bottom of the fourth inning. Lily Valamont, Maddie Ramey, Avery Fantucci, Michigan has been kept fairly quiet, though, so far today. They're 3 for 12 as a team with 2 walks, 1 extra base hit.
Again, at least you got that one run across to just, get something on the board. But again, the bats need to come alive earlier than the final 3 innings of the game. And as you said into that last conversation, I do think there is a win now attitude with this senior class. I mean, it's rare. You're like getting another Durkowski-like pitcher. That's tough to find, and there is just a win now thing. And also, I think last year was so unexpected to win the Big Ten tournament in the fashion that they did. I think it exceeded expectations from last season, and now you know what this team is capable of, and all you want to do is replicate that.
Very well put. 6-7-8 for Michigan. Valamont, Ramey, Fantucci, Billy Kerwood back out there. You got the final 2 outs to escape a jam last inning for Delaware. First pitch to Valamont, whips it in there for a strike. Oh, 0-1 to Lily Valamont. Valamont digs in, back in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the 0-1 pitch. She cuts on it, flies it down the left field line. Running back there is Thomas. She's got it just left of the line, approaching the warning track. Long fly out, and Lily Valamont retired.
Great cut from Valamont. Though nonetheless, great play in left from Thomas. Had to cover a lot of ground to get that one.
Softball just hung up in the air for long enough. Maddie Ramey now, 1 down. Here's the pitch from Kerwood. And she opens her up with a strike right down the pipe, 0-1. Ramey taps the dish 1 time. Relax the shoulders, now digs back, tense down her back knee, wave and a miss. Off speed, down and away, 0-2. Billy Kerwood's stuff has looked very good out of the pen.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, preseason pitcher of the year in the conference for a reason, and she's been showing it.
She's ahead 0-2, here it is. Down and away, easy take for Maddie Ramey. Infield, outfield, straight on for the Blue Hens. Blantz deep at shortstop. Same with Shiver to second base. Here's the 1-2 to Ramey. She was out in front of the off-speed pitch. Played well by Faith Canfield, first base coach for Michigan. She's holding some sort of arm protectors for base runner, maybe gloves, I don't know, something. Sliding mitts, and dropped them to make a play on that softball. She still got it over there.
Talented coaching staff.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Ramey. Ooh. And that one clipped a piece of her elbow. Ramey aboard on the hit by pitch. And a 1-2 count, you'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, a good break. And you got his speedster, Maddie Ramey, on the base pass now with Fantucci, McVeigh, and hopefully flip the lineup card, get Sealer up there, give herself a chance.
Fantucci will dig in. 0 for 1 so far today. Starting in shortstop on opening day to begin her junior campaign. There's some pop in this bat. We've seen it off the bench at times. First pitch to her. Ramey was on the move, and it's grounded through the hole. Just past the outstretched glove of Talley at third. Base hit for Avery Fantucci.
And that could have been perfect placement right in between Blantz and Talley at third and short. Great piece of hitting from Fantucci. Now you have a runner in scoring position with Ramey. Sealer on deck now with McVeigh. The .313 hitter last season, now up to bat.
McVeigh grounded out her first time up. Ramey at second. Fantucci at first, both run well. Here's the pitch to McVeigh. Bouncing ball into the glove on a hop of Cahalan behind the dish, 1-0. Kerwood's composure perhaps a little bit rattled. the most uncomfortable we've seen her so far out of the pen with 2 aboard. Her stuff has really been sharp so far. 1-0 to McVeigh. Misses down and away, 2-0.
That's all you need for this Michigan offense, just to rattle the cage of the pitcher in the circle, and you never know what can happen after that.
2-0, McVeigh shows bunt, pulls it back, here's the pitch, line drive to left field, and that's run down by Thomas. She slid at the end of it, had it before the slide, but a nice jump on that ball for off the bat. I thought that had a chance to perhaps drop.
Yeah, that just hung up there enough for Thomas to make the play out and left. But you do have Ellie Sealer now. Lineup card flips over, give yourself a chance.
She's probably your best pure hitter, batting average wise, and chance to just put a ball in play, keep you going here. 2 on, 2 out. Sealer takes a close pitch down and away.
Good location from Kerwood on the outside edge of the zone there. A good take from Sealer in the box.
Ramey at second, Fantucci at first, 7-1 Delaware. Bottom of the 4th inning, Wolverines looking to strike back. Here's the 1-0. Off speed, drops in there. 1-1. Sealer deep in the left-handed batter's box. Her back foot right in front of the chalk. 1-1, Kerwood uncorks. That one pops out of the glove of Cahalan. Throw down to second, safe. Both runners advance. Raymond to third, Fantucci to second. On a pitch that was close, taken for a ball. Cahalan just couldn't squeeze it.
Some heads-up base running, though. That did not get far away from Cahalan. But both the runners advance now in scoring position with 2 outs.
2 in scoring position, 2 outs, 2-1 count to Ellie Sealer. Kerwood fires, misses down and away, 3-1. Janisa Conway in the on-deck circle for Michigan. Sealer taps the plate, digs back in there. She's the first to be ready to roll. Kerwood picks some dirt up on her hand now, wipes it off on her pant leg. Now comes set, here's her 3-1 to Sealer. And she takes it, ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
Stone cold take with 2 runners in scoring position, 2 outs. All you want to do is make a difference, and you just sit back. Man, that was a great at bat from Sealer.
Visit here on the Delaware side. Jen Steele pops out.
Again, with the patience so far, you get the early season jitters. You get excited for this kind of environment. Softball season's now in full swing, and up and down, this lineup's been patient. Maybe hits haven't come across, runs haven't come across, but patience is there, and that's a great foundation to at least start off with here in February.
Big at bat coming up here. 7-1 Delaware. Michigan bases loaded and 2 outs for Janisa Conway.
Ready 2 for 2 with 2 singles to right field. Rockets both of them. Yeah, big spot for the sophomore.
Only hitter for Michigan with a multi-hit day through the order to this point. 2 times through the order, 2 singles for Conway. Bases loaded, 7-1 Delaware, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Ramey at third, Fantucci at second, Sealer at first. First pitch to Conway is a strike from Billy Kerwood.
Great location from Kerwood on the outside, just snagging the zone there. Now ahead 0-1.
Infield, outfield, straight up for Delaware on Conway. They just need an out anywhere they can get it. Here's the 0-1. Bounces low. Good block, though, by Cahalan. Pushed it up the third base line. Nowhere to run for Maddie Ramey. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kerwood looks into the Delaware dugout, first base side. Now puts her right foot on the rubber. Here's her 1-1. Fouled off. Conway out in front of the off-speed pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Conway showing some aggression there. Base load, 2 outs. Huge spot.
Feels like a pivotal point in the middle of this ball game. 7-1 Delaware, bases loaded, 2 outs. 1-2 to Conway, outside, 2-2. Ramey at third, Fantucci at second, Sealer at first, Conway at the dish, and a 2-2 count. Billy Kerwood in the circle for Delaware. Kerwood, right foot on the rubber. She whirls home. Here it is. Conway on the ground, on the charge. At second is Shivert. Underhand toss to first, and Conway retired. Kerwood escapes the jam. Michigan leaves the bases loaded. We head to the top of the 5th. Still 7-1 Blue Hens.
And she just got out in front of that breaking ball for the weak grounder. And you're right, that was a pivotal moment in this game. Unfortunately, leave the bases loaded. Still 7-1 game.
Ferguson will head back into the circle for Michigan. Still a lot of time left in this one. 5th inning coming up momentarily here in Tampa, Florida. You're listening to WCBN Sports, the official student radio of the University of Michigan. I'm Alex Miller. Alongside me, TJ Fossmeyer. Thrilled to be in Tampa, Florida for the USF-Rawlings Invitational. We'll have all 5 of Michigan games this weekend.
Should be a really exciting weekend. I've had this one circled on my calendar for a while. This is always a fun weekend last 2 years.
Just taking a look in the chat here on WCBN, what Michigan softball alum Hannah George has to say about the pitching staff certainly seems right to me. Nothing to panic about right now. It's game 1. Erin Hain, you know, is quite a solid pitcher in the Big Ten. Just didn't have it on her first start of the year. Haley Ferguson's looked solid as a freshman. You know what you have in Lauren Durkowski. Regan Bennett's still an option. This is a deep pitching staff for Michigan with a lot of options. And, you know, even if you drop this game, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, I mean,
it changes nothing with how good this Michigan team is and is going to be this season.
I mean, you cannot go through a season perfect, and it's these hiccups that make the team better, that just, you know, that build some character, that, you know, you got to get through this at some point. It's good to get out some of these early season kinks now than, you know, than later down the stretch in the heart of the Big Ten season.
Talley leads off for Delaware. She takes strike 1, the 8-hitter today. Fielder's choice with an RBI attached to it and a ground out. Ferguson, the 0-1. This is just below the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. To the 8-hitter Talley. It's Ellie Talley, Ellie Mulligan. In the top of the order, Katie Shivert for the Blue Hens. 1-1. Misses down and in. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Talley had some fortunate defensive plays earlier in this game. 2 rockets right to her. Some solid contact from the Wolverines, unfortunately right into her glove.
(2-1). Ferguson hurls home, up and away. 3-1 now to Talley. Here's the pitch. High pitch, rifled into center field. Conway dives and takes one away in center field.
What a play to cover that much ground. As you mentioned, she's playing a little shallow in center. Was just able to get to that one for an excellent diving play. Wow.
Talley cut it a rise ball up above the zone, smacked it into center. Conway came on the charge, dove with her glove turned over in a backhand spot, and took one away. 1 down. Quite an effort out there in center for Conway. That'll bring up the 9-hitter Mulligan. She'll take an off-speed pitch for strike 1 from Haley Ferguson.
And we've been talking about Janisa Conway's bat, you know, all game so far, with the only Wolverine to have a multi-hit performance so far. But, you know, her range out in center, I mean, that's why she cemented the starting spot as soon as she came onto campus just last year.
Mulligan cuts at the 0-1, pops it up, shallow left field. Ellie Sealer calls for it just toward the line and hauls it in 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning. That'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Katie Shivert, hit by pitch, fielder's choice, and a double for Shivert. She comes up here with 2 down, nobody aboard. 8 and 9, both retired. First pitch to her from Ferguson, rifled past Erickson. Once more a line drive hit it, a cramped in Maddie Erickson, and it goes off her glove as she tried to backhand it into left field. Again, I imagine that'll be scored as a single, and it should be. Erickson, a bit of a punch into her glove, not happy with herself. That's a tough play to make at the hot corner.
Yeah, I agree. And again, that's what they call the hot corner for a reason. And, you know, her playing up, that only shortens the reaction time down the line. But yeah, that will be scored a single.
Mary Beth Cahalan now with Shivert at first. 2 singles and a fly out for Cahalan. Cut to the first pitch, lines it to left field. Sealer going back, leaps, and it's over her head. One hops into the wall. Conway will play it. Shivert rounding third. She's headed home, and she is there safely. Mary Beth Cahalan, her 3rd hit of the day, is an RBI double, and it's 8-1 Delaware.
Some great hitting shown from Cahalan. Just over the outstretched glove. I thought Sealer would get to that one, but that was just over her head. Got an unfortunate bounce off the wall, so Conway had to get to that one.
Mary Beth Cahalan, the grad transfer, last 4 years at Dartmouth. Had a good day against Michigan a year ago in a tournament in Louisville. Great day today. First pitch to Gianna Costaro from Ferguson is a strike on the outer half. But Cahalan, another big weapon in this strong Delaware squad that, as we've talked about, is a contender in the Coastal Athletic Association this season and has been the last couple. 0-1 to Costaro, up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, and Cahalan came in as a big grad transfer from Dartmouth, as we mentioned. She's a great two-way player, just an extra base hit machine, as we just saw. And she's great behind the dish, threw out 13 runners last season, so she's, you know, all-around phenomenal catcher.
1-1 from Ferguson. Pumps one in on the inner half. 1-2 to Costaro, the right-handed hitter. Behind 1-2 with Mary Beth Cahalan up at second base. Ferguson still seeking her first strikeout so far through 4 1/3. 1-2 to Costaro. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ferguson looks into the sign from Jennifer Brundage. Right foot on the rubber now. 2-2 to Costaro. That one fouled off. Costaro just got a piece of an off-speed pitch. Still 2-2, 2 down, runner at second. Number 2-0 at the dish in Costaro. Ferguson deals, line drive, just foul. Down the third base line, Maddie Erickson leapt up for it, couldn't get her glove to it, and it ends up a couple inches wide of the foul line. Probably a good thing Erickson didn't touch it. She was in fair territory at the time.
Yeah.
Rifle off the
reaction, though. Couldn't get up there, unfortunately.
Rifle off the bat of Costaro. Still 2-2. Cahalan at second. Back on the rubber is Ferguson. Uncorks the 2-2. Wave and a miss. And an emphatic reaction from Ferguson as she picks up her first college strikeout. One more across for Delaware. They lead it 8-1. Bottom of the 5th inning coming up. This Michigan offense will look to get going here.
So that's her first career strikeout for Michigan, and generally, it's not, her stat sheet is not going to pop out to you in the scorecard. But I've liked what I've seen from Ferguson generally early on. Just getting out of jams. She's had her stretches where she has been dominant. Not necessarily strikeout stuff, but all of this stuff is adjustable. And it's still early in the season. It's the first game. We're not even through 5 innings on the season yet, but I've generally liked the situation she's been exposed to, and this, frankly, it's good exposure for the freshman early on.
Now the Wolverines need the bats to get going. against Billy Kerwood, who's been sharp out of the pen so far for Delaware. 8-1, bottom of the 5th inning here in South Florida in Tampa.
At the heart of the order coming up, 3, 4, 5.
And this is a batting order that to me seems designed to really hit. I mean, Indiana Langford started the last couple of years. She's not in there on opening day today. More of a slap hitter. In her place is Avery Fantucci, who's more of a power bat in the right-handed box.
Yeah.
This is a lineup that's trying to swing for power. So far today, just 1 run, but as you said, heart of the order, 3, 4, 5 coming up here. It's been a long game, too.
Yeah.
11:40 starts, already 1:30. We're just in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Erickson. Swings at one in the dirt. 0-1.
Well, as you said, that first inning was, what, 30 minutes?
Half hour first
inning.
Kerwood picks up some dirt, wipes it off on her right pant leg. Kerwood digs in. Erickson awaits. Here's the 0-1. Up and away. Easy take. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Kerwood looks in for the sign. One. Erickson line drive into right field. Goes the other way with it. Able to turn it around to the right. And a leadoff single here to begin things in the bottom of the 5th.
Solid showing from 2 and 3 hitters. Both Conway and Erickson been really the source of the offense so far, and that's what this lineup's designed to do. I mean, they've abandoned what was last year the sacrifice play between Sealer and Langford, where, you know, Sealer would get on, Indiana Langford would get on sacrifice bunt, move Sealer over to second, and that played well. That kind of small ball played well, but they've largely abandoned that, at least so far, with this more power-centric lineup.
CeCe Thorington in there to pinch run for Maddie Erickson, the freshman, is a huge speed threat. Set the Michigan high school record for most consecutive stolen bases with 130. Set her school record for single season stolen bags with 60. Lauren puts in there the freshman to bat. She takes ball 1 just outside from Kerwood.
Also had some 4x2 relay experience, got some track experience, all Michigan in that event.
Lauren puts a walk and a strikeout today for the freshman in her debut. Here's the 1-0. Takes it outside, 2-0.
And Cahalan seems to be aware of Thorington's speed on the base paths, kind of replicating Valamont's vigilance behind the dish.
2 balls, no strikes to the freshman Lauren puts. 8-1 Delaware, bottom of the 5th inning. Michigan looking to get going on offense. Puts takes the ball low. It bounces past Cahalan, and Thorington easily moves up to second. Thorington in scoring position. Nobody gone here in the bottom of the 5th. 3-0 count to Lauren Puts.
Offense showing some signs of life. Runner in scoring position, no outs. Good stuff here.
Kerwood hands over the head. Here's the 3-0. And misses inside. 4-pitch walk for Lauren Puts. Now 2 on, nobody out for Ella Stevenson.
And that's a great recovery at bat for Puts. You know, was really aggressive in her last at bat, striking out. But now going back to the patience and just drawing a walk, get a runner on with no outs here. Ella Stevenson now up. I think that's a great recovery at bat for the freshman.
Line out and a ground out today for Stevenson. First pitch to her, big cut fouls it back. And Stevenson last year as a freshman started super slow. He was hitting 147 on March 19th, and coaches stuck with her, started the freshman all year long. She hit 382 in Big Ten play, all Big Ten second team with that effort. We're going to build on that here to begin her sophomore campaign. 0-1, cuts at it, flies it down the left field line, drifts foul, and it's out of play. But 0-2, Stevenson falls behind Kerwood.
Yeah, and as you said, she was freshman of the week in the Big Ten 4 out of the last 6 weeks of the season. and just her coming alive was so pivotal to Michigan's success down the stretch last season. It came as a surprise for us. We called 2 early season tournaments where she struggled, and then all of a sudden this Big Ten play started. She came on her own and was electric for this team.
0-2 to Stevenson, way upstairs above the head. 1 and 2 now. 2 aboard. Thornton at first puts, Thornton at second, puts over at first. Nobody gone. Bottom of the 5th inning. Michigan offense looks to get going. They trail by 7 to Delaware. Kerwood, right foot on the rubber. Hands go above the head. Here's her 1-2. Stevenson fouls it back. Another big cut. Lily Valamont in the on-deck circle for Michigan. Infield and the outfield, both straight on the Delaware defense. Kerwood 1-2 to Stevenson. Ground ball to third. Tapped on the bag at third and thrown over to first. Double play. Heads up stuff from Talley at the hot corner. 2 gone.
Jeez, what a play from Talley at the hot corner. And that was just, fortunate placement for Delaware, grounding that near the bag at third and just have enough time to rifle it off to first for a double play. Some great defense from Talley here early.
And the 2 gone erases a lot of this Michigan threat. Just at second now. Stands Lauren puts. Lily Valamont will dig in with 2 gone. Swing and a miss. First pitch off speed out in front. 0-1. Kerwood back on the rubber. Runner at second is Putz. Here's the 0-1 to Valamont. This is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. To Valamont. Takes a close pitch just outside. Mary Beth Cahalan behind the dish, jumping up and down. She thought that was a strike.
They really wanted that one called. That looked close. That was a great location from Kerwood there.
2-1 to the Michigan backstop. Lily Valamont. Lauren puts at second base. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Valamont fly ball to left field. Thomas ranges a few steps to her left and has it for the 3rd out. Kerwood gets out of a jam. Had 2 on, nobody out. Gets a double play and then a fly out, and that'll end the Michigan threat 8-1 in favor of Delaware. We head to the top of the 6th inning.
An unfortunate break for the Wolverines. That bases loaded and just kind of a weird double play there down the line to just have enough time to tag the base and rifle it over to first. Still riding Ferguson in the circle. I like to see it. Just get the freshman some more time. Again, you might look at the score and might be a little discouraged, but still early. There's a lot of season to play. You want to give the freshman this opportunity to, bruise herself, to fall down and get back up, and that's what she's been doing. Still early days for Michigan softball.
4 more games this weekend for the Wolverines. USF later this afternoon, and tomorrow Illinois State in the big game against top 5 team in the country, Florida, before wrapping it up Sunday morning against Georgia Southern. This game not over yet. 8-1 Delaware, top of the 6th inning. Michigan 2 more chances at the dish. Haley Ferguson, the freshman, will go back to work. Got to imagine this means you're leaving Lauren Durkowski for game 2 this afternoon, and Regan Bennett is your relief option in that one.
Yeah, I would agree.
Could see one of those pitchers pitch in both games if necessary. We'll see what the Wolverines do here. So far, it's Ferguson.
And you got a lot of, it's a deeper pitching staff compared to last season just in terms of bodies and people on the roster. You got a lot of options to go to, and I'm sure Coach Stoll and Coach Brundage will get creative with it this weekend.
Top of the 6th inning, 8-1 in favor of Delaware. 4-5-6, Hess, Schaefer, Blantz for the Blue Hens. Haley Ferguson, the freshman, right foot back on the rubber. Here she comes to open Sixth inning, line drive up the middle on the first pitch, and it'll drop a few steps in front of Janisa Conway. First pitch ambush and a leadoff single for Morgan Hess.
All over that pitch, just all over that pitch, just straight up the middle. Great piece of hitting from Hess.
Now it's Sydney Schaefer, 3 for 3 days so far. A double with 2 RBIs there, a single and another single with an RBI. Strong day for Schaefer. Has a runner at first and Hess. First pitch to her. Caught the outer half for a strike, 0-1. Schaefer, productive year last year, hit 347. 0-1 to her. Down and away. Ball 1. Even count. 1 apiece. 8-1 Delaware, top of the 6th inning. Ferguson back on the rubber. Here's her 1-1. Fly ball to left field. Ellie Sealer started in, now goes back and is right there for the first out of the frame. So Schaefer retired for the first time today. That'll bring up Chloe Blantz. First pitch to Blantz, upstairs. Valamont quickly out of the crouch. Keep an eye on Hess, who stunted towards second there. Infield, outfield, straight on here. Against the left-handed hitter, Chloe Blantz. 1-0 pitch for a strike, 1-1.
Good location from Ferguson against Blantz. Showing some good stuff despite the hiccups in this game.
Ferguson leans in. Now rocks back. Here's her 1-1. Firm pop into the glove of Lily Valamont for a strike, 1-2. 62-mile-per-hour pitch there for Ferguson. Lily Blantz, the senior, behind 1-2 to Ferguson. Runner at first is Morgan Hess. 8-1 Delaware, top of the 6th inning, 1 down. Here's the pitch from Ferguson, down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and two to Chloe Blantz. Runner at first is Hess. Here's the pitch from Ferguson. Downstairs in the basement, 3-2. Full count now for Blantz. Some fight here in this plate appearance. 3-2. Ferguson deals home on the ground, past the diving Ella McVeigh and through into right field. Hess will stop at second. Ground ball single through the 4-hole for Chloe Blantz. 2 on and 1 out for the Blue Hens.
I thought McVeigh had a chance on a diving play there at second, just outside of her glove into right field. Good piece of opposite field hitting for Blantz.
First pitch to Thomas on the ground. McVeigh tossed to Fantucci, turned to first, got her in time. 4-6-3 double play, and Haley Ferguson's out of the 6th. Good turn for the Wolverines.
There you go. You could not have drawn that up any perfectly for the Wolverines. 4-6-3 double play, and again for Haley Ferguson, she's allowing herself to fall down, but also get back up and succeed as well. This is nothing you can't fix with more reps in the season. As you get more games under your belt, more appearances in the circle. It might look bleak now, but there is a lot of season, a lot of tournament, a lot of weekend, a lot of game time to go for Haley Ferguson and this team.
Billy Kerwood back in the circle. He's been pretty dominant out of the pen today for the Delaware Blue Hens. Bottom of the 6th inning. 6 more outs to play with for Michigan. They trail 8-1. They send up 7, 8, and 9. Maddie Ramey, Avery Fantucci, and Ella McVeigh.
This is where the offense started in the last offensive chance. Ramey was hit by a pitch, and that's where some offense got started. So you never know here. Down 7 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Ramey will hit from the left-handed batter's box. Ground out and a hit by pitch for the junior Allen Park, Michigan native. Kerwood, hands go above the head, and she delivers home. Ramey, fly ball, well struck in the left center field. That's going to drop. Mulligan couldn't get there. Ramey to second. She'll put the brakes on there. Opposite field double for Maddie Ramey, and there's some juice for Michigan here to begin the bottom of the 6th inning.
And there's the power that she's been working so hard to develop. And this coaching staff has seen it, which allows her to get the starting first base job to start the season. Found a perfect gap between left center. Some great piece of hitting for Ramey, and got a runner in scoring position with no outs. Again, the offense starts with Ramey again.
Avery Fantucci now. 1 for 2 today with a single her last time up in the 4th inning. She's in the right-handed box. First pitch to her. Misses low. 1-0. Kerwood takes her time, checks the wristband now, brings herself back onto the rubber. Ramey at second, 1-0 to Fantucci. Just misses down and in. 2-0 to the junior shortstop, Avery Fantucci. Wide stance for 23 in maize and blue. Bat moving up and down behind the shoulder. 2-0 pitch. Just misses once more. Another close pitch. Another good take by Fantucci. 3-0 hitters count for her.
Kerwood nor the Blue Hen dugout did not agree with that call. Good location inside, but better eye from Fantucci.
Ramey at second. Nobody down. 3-0. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk for Avery Fantucci. 2 on, nobody out for the 9-hitter Ella McVeigh.
Seems a little familiar now, does it? Ramey on second, Fantucci on first. And now you really effectively have McVeigh up and then Sealer on deck. You effectively have 2 leadoff-like hitters up next for the Wolverines.
Bonnie Thole out to chat here with home plate umpire Anita Robinette. We'll see what happens here. Janella Lacqua out of the Michigan dugout. She'll run at first base for Fantucci. Interesting move there.
I wonder if they stick Lacqua short now, too. Probably not.
To me, both those are similar level runners, but obviously this coaching staff's seen them run a lot more than I have. I thought for a second maybe you pull McVeigh for a power bat here with nobody out, 2 on, down 7. But McVeigh stays in. She shows bunt here, pulls it back. Cuts at the first pitch, drives this ball to right center field. Mulligan drifts back, she's underneath it. Ramey will tag the third, throw comes in, not in time. She's there with a head first slide. McVeigh flies out, Ramey up to third. They're on the corners, 1 gone for Michigan. In the top of this order, Ellie Sealer. Delaware leads 8-1 here, bottom of the 6th inning.
That was a great tag from Ramey, too. That was kind of in a precarious spot where you either could rationalize staying or tagging, but Ramey's speed just made it look easy.
A lock with a pinch runner at first, Ramey at third. First pitch to Sealer. She takes it off speed for a strike, 0-1. One from Kerwood. This is just downstairs. Try to pin the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sealer. Runners on the corners, 1 down, 8-1 Delaware. Opportunity for Michigan to start crawling back into this thing. 1-1 delivery. Bounces in, 2-1.
And again, Kerwood visibly rattled. His command all over the place, and that's an opportunity for Michigan to capitalize.
2 balls, 1 strike to Ellie Sealer. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, 3-1. Sealer today, a pair of walks and a fly out. Ahead 3-1 on Billy Kerwood. Runners on the corners for Michigan. Ramey at third, Alakwa at first. Kerwood fires home. Ball 4 below the knees. Third walk of the day drawn by Ellie Sealer. The bases are loaded for Michigan once more. And this time it's Janisa Conway, who's 2 for 3 today. A couple well-struck singles.
We rewind back to the 4th inning. It's like the same situation. But Sealer patient early in the season. Now that's 3 walks in a row in the last 3 appearances.
Bases loaded for Conway. First pitch to her. Takes it outside, 1-0. 1 gone here, bottom of the 6th inning. Michigan trails 8-1. And out of the dugout comes Jen Steele. I think she's going to make a pitching change here in the bottom of the 6th inning. She gave a point to her dugout. We will see. We'll talk things over. Alakwa over to Ramey to chat at third base, gives her a high five. Faith Canfield chats with Ellie Sealer at first base. Michigan softball getting the Maize and Blue faithful going. Dugout says go, fans say blue.
The sizable Michigan fan base that made the trip down. And right under us there's a good amount, and up here in the Donaldson deck, it's a good amount.
No pitching change just yet, I don't believe. Kerwood still out there, was just talking things over with her head coach, Jen Steele.
I didn't see anybody in the pen before that.
Kerwood will stay in this ball game. 1-0 count to Janisa Conway. Bases loaded. 1 out here, bottom of the 6th inning. Conway digs back in deep in the left-handed batter's box. 1-0 is the count. Kerwood on the rubber. She deals the 1-0 pitch. Conway lays off, 2-0. Kerwood checks her wristband. Looks for something to put away. Janisa Conway, here's her 2-0. Big cut. And Conway swung underneath it, 2-1.
She was swinging for the fences on that one. Huge hack.
Two balls, 1 strike, bases loaded. Janisa Conway, 2 for 3 today. Kerwood, here's the 2-1 pitch. Conway extends the hand, swings at a pitch down and away, pops it up toward the shortstop. Blanche, who has it a few steps back on the grass, and there's out number 2. The bottom of the 6th inning, 8-1 Delaware. 2 outs, bases loaded. Maddie Erickson time.
Again, monster season last year. 12 home runs, 48 RBIs, bases loaded. This is who you want in the box.
Double line out single, all well struck for Erickson. After the bases loaded, 2 gone, cuts at the first pitch, fouls it back. 0-1, and certainly these are the hitters you want up, the heart of your order. But I mean here, bottom of the 6th inning, you trail by 7.
Time is now.
This is the moment here if you want to come back into this thing. Bases loaded, 2 gone. One of your best hitters out the dish. 0-1 from Kerwood. Erickson, ground ball to third. Tally plays it, stomps on the bag. And the Wolverines, for the 2nd time today, strand the bases loaded. And we head to the 7th inning, 8-1, Delaware Blue Hens on top.
Yeah, I mean, the stars aligned for the Michigan lineup. You know, get bases loaded, you have the heart of your order, you know, falling in to capitalize. Unfortunately, both times the stars have aligned, it just has not happened unfortunately for the Wolverines. But again, it's just early season struggles. Nothing you can't fix down the stretch.
Erin Hain going back in to the circle. She'll return here. She started this ball game, got one out, and then was pulled after giving up a few runs. Haley Ferguson has been in there since. She went 5 2/3, gave up 3 runs on 9 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. And Hain, who started this game, didn't throw a ton, back in there to finish things out here in the 7th inning. Michigan trails 8-1. They'll need minor miracle in the bottom of the 7th inning if they want to win this ball game.
Yeah, I'm sure just for Hain, this is just to get some confidence back in the circle. You don't want to end a day like that, you know, especially in the 1st inning. Now you get her into the 7th just to get something under her belt and not end the day like that earlier.
Hain back in the circle. 8-9-1 coming up for Delaware.
Yeah, this is the time for Hain to dial it in again. 8-9-1. See if she can bounce back, and this will be a huge test for Erin Hain. Ferguson, nonetheless, I think she got a great outing. You know, again, stat sheet might not show that per se, but I think she was exposed to a lot. She got out of jams, fell down, got back up, saw just about everything in the circle, and you know, for a first appearance in the Michigan uniform, I'd say that was pretty good.
Pinch hitter here. Christian Luzon pinch hits for Tally here in the 8th spot. Cuts at the first pitch she sees and misses it. Strike from Erin Hain.
Had limited appearances last season, but made the most of it. 448 average.
She was 13 for 29 a year ago. 0-1 upstairs from Hain. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hain comes set, rocks back 1-1. Upstairs, 2 balls, 1 strike. Cuts at that 2-1 pitch, flies it into right field. Stevenson comes in and is underneath it for out number 1 here in the top of the 7th inning. 8-1 Delaware, 1 gone. Top of the 7th inning. So Luzon, the pinch hitter, retired. And I'll bring up another pinch hitter. Bridget Chapman will swing. Here's the pitch from Hain. Up above the zone. 1-0. To Bridget Chapman, the pinch hitter. This is a freshman bat here for Chapman. Getting some of the first licks in. She takes a ball low, 2-0. 1AB for Chapman on the season in the first couple of games this Delaware team has played. Delaware 1-2 so far. Losses to Illinois State and USF, and a win against Georgia Southern this morning. 2-0 upstairs from Hain. 3-0 now to Chapman. .3-0 count here to the freshman, Bridget Chapman, Naperville, Illinois native. And back on the rubber. Here's her 3-0. Pumps 1 in the zone, 3-1.
Yeah, had a good senior season. 432 average, 35 RBIs as a senior.
Hain, the 3-1 pitch on the ground. Fantucci charged it from shortstop, tossed to first in time. 2 gone. So two pitchers in the 8 and pinch hitters in the 8 and 9 spots. Luzon and Chapman both retired. And that'll bring up Katie Shiver at the top of the order. She'll stay in there. Excellent day so far. Hit by pitch, fielder's choice, double and a single for Shiver, 4 times up there. Hain first pitch to her, misses low. She hit her back in the first inning. Now Hain back in there in the 7th to finish this thing off for Michigan. One-0 count to Shivert. Here's the pitch from Hain. Upstairs, 2-0. And the top of this order has really produced in these 4 games for Delaware. Shivert hitting .417. Cahalan behind her hitting .455. Hain behind 2-0 to Katie Shivert. She deals the pitch and finds the outer half, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Still a gorgeous day here in Tampa. Long game 1 this morning for the Wolverines and the Blue Hens. 2-1. Rise ball cut on and fouled back by Shivert above the zone. 2-2. It's been a long game. 11:40 starts, already nearly 2 o'clock. Still have a half inning and some change to go. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Shivert. Hain back on the rubber. 2-2. Off speed, popped it up into the shortstop Fantucci. She's right there, barely had to move, and has it for the 3rd out of the top of the 7th. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Michigan trails 8-1. And as I said a few moments ago, they'll need a minor miracle here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, and that, for Hain, that was great. Just get back in the circle, get some outs under your belt, and just recover, pick yourself back up, and you're right. It's going to take a miracle to get back into this one with a 7-run deficit. But Erin Hain kept it status quo, 8-1. That'll be good going forward into the weekend and down into the season, as she will still remain a pivotal part of this staff beyond Durkowski, beyond Ferguson and Bennett. Showing off the musical talents?
Just lip sync into a classic. Hope you can hear it through the Nats mic.
It's a little overplayed.
Can't be overplayed.
It's a little bit.
I haven't heard this song in a while. You don't hear this one much during the winter.
It has been a while, yeah. It's a baseball song. It's a baseball
Thanks, Neil.
softball.
We missed you.
It's a summer song, for sure.
Kerwood stays in there. In the circle for Delaware. She's been excellent out of the bullpen. 3.2, 3 hits, 4 walks, 1 strikeout. Nothing across. She's escaped a few jams. And for Michigan, it's 4-5-6. Lauren Putz, Ella Stevenson, Lily Valamont, as they look to strike here for Michigan. Bottom of the 7th, Wolverines trail 8-1. Kerwood trying to wrap things up for the Blue Hens, get them out of here with 2 wins today. First pitch to Putz, and Putz takes it outside. 1-0, Lauren Putz, walk, strikeout, walk today. 3 long plate appearances for the freshman. .1-0 from Kerwood. Putz fouls it off a little bit out in front of the off speed. Got the end of the bat, nothing else. 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Outside and low. 2-1 now to Lauren Putz.
I've been really impressed with Putz's ability to just stay back and be patient. After that 1 strikeout, she's, other than that, she's put herself into good hitters' counts. Drew some walks, and she's been impressive so far.
2-1. Putz cuts, fouls it back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Bonnie Thole takes a moment to come over from the third base coaching box and have a chat with her freshman slugger, Lauren Putz. And again, Putz hitting cleanup. Says a lot of how this coaching staff feels about her as a freshman. Because as much as this order has struggled so far in this game, you return a lot of players that really produced a year ago. And Putz earns herself the cleanup spot in her debut.
Yeah, I agree. Big spot for the freshman. You know, just phenomenal offensive stats in high school. And you're right. I mean, they're confident, and I'm sure they'll ride her in this spot.
Ground ball the opposite way, played it short by Blantz. Over to first, throw too high. Gets over the first baseman, Costaro, off her glove. Would have been a close play regardless. Putz might have been able to beat that out in time. Either way, she's aboard at first base.
Yeah, Blantz kind of bobbled that one on the recovery into her glove. A little errant throw to try to recover off of that. But yeah, I think Putz would have been safe. It was going to be a close play.
They'll score a single for Lauren Putz. Now Ella Stevenson. First pitch to Stevenson. Line drive into left field. That's a single that is stopped on a dive by Thomas. Well struck by Stevenson. 2 on, nobody out. Boy, Thomas laid out for that ball and was able to fully extend and stop a one-hop. Quick reflex, could have easily bounced past her, but it'll hold both runners with just a advancement by one base, station to station. Putz at second, Stevenson at first, and Lily Valamont.
Yeah, Blantz was charging back towards Thomas and left as the cutoff, and lucky that she was there to pick it up and recover it quickly.
Valamont now 0 for 3 today. Takes ball 1 low.
I mean, despite only scratching across 1 run, this offense has shown life at times, getting runners into scoring position. They're just not capitalizing when it needs to be.
1-0, Valamont line drive, played on a one-hop at shortstop, and the turn off the line from Blantz. He threw it into right field. Going home and scoring is Putz. Up to third goes Stevenson. And up to second goes Valamont. Michigan scores their second run, 8-2 Delaware.
And there you go. You finally capitalize on something. And again, this offense is clicking to some extent. So they're just not capitalizing in the run category. And there you go. You're just clawing it back. And again, it would take a miracle to come back into this one. Now it's a 6-run deficit.
Nobody out. And Jen Steele back out of the dugout to chat here. Indiana Langford will come on for Lily Valamont and run at second base.
And she's got some speed.
They called that Valamont reached on a fielder's choice and advanced to second, and Stevenson advanced to second safely on the throwing error. You can't assume the double play turn, but an error mixed in there that time by Chloe Blantz. Back-to-back bobbles. Last one a single, this one an error, and I think those are both the correct scoring rulings. But some life here for Michigan. They played their second run. They trail 8-2. They have runners on second and third, and Stevenson in the pinch runner, a blazer of a pinch runner, and Indiana Langford on second base.
Again, with Blantz at short, I think she bobbled the initial fielding and then had to kind of rush the throw, which led to the errant throw. Again, just two times consecutively that she had to rush herself on defense, in which Michigan has just capitalized on. You know, in the run column now, 8-2.
Mound visit over from Jen Steele. Billy Kerwood still in the game. Michigan has gotten to her a little bit. They've had 5 hits off her and 4 walks. But that first run just came across. It was unearned. Maddie Ramey in there now with runners on second and third, nobody gone. She takes ball 1 outside. Ramey, a ground out, a hit by pitch, and a double an inning ago. Big chance here. Stevenson at third, Langford at second. Ramey at the dish. Here's the 1-0 from Billy Kerwood. Ramey ground ball to second. On the charge comes Shivert. Toss to first is in time. Both runners forced to hold. Stevenson still at third. Langford still at second. 1 out now in the column. That'll bring up Avery Fantucci.
A single in the fourth and walked in her last. Again, it's a sneaky power bat. 2 runners in scoring position. Big chance for the junior.
First pitch, he cuts on it, lines it foul down the left field line. Fantucci way out in front. Try to turn that pitch, pull it. She's behind 0-1 to Billy Kerwood. Ella McVeigh, the 9-hitter, stands on deck. 8-2 Delaware. Bottom of the 7th inning. Michigan with 2 in scoring position, 1 down. Here's the pitch to Fantucci. Wave and a miss, a pitch in the dirt. And it's blocked behind the dish by Mary Beth Cahalan to hold both runners.
Fortunate break. Stevenson and Indy thought about it, but the better decision just to pull up on that one.
0-2 to Avery Fantucci. Kerwood hurls home. Fantucci wave and a miss. Off speed. Kerwood sets her down swinging. 2 gone here for Ella McVeigh.
Boy, she pulled the string on that breaking ball. Way out in front of that one was Fantucci for a big second out.
Second and third, the runners for Michigan. Stevenson at third, Langford behind her. Now the 9-hitter Ella McVeigh. Ground out, line out, fly out. Corner infield pinched in as she shows bunt, pulls it back, slaps it, but pulled it. Fair foul, or excuse me, fouled on the first base line.
Man, Langford made it to third in like a blink of an eye. This speed's so impressive.
(0-1) to McVeigh. Here's the pitch from Kerwood. Ground ball on the charge from second comes Shivert. Underhand toss to first, and this ball game is over. Costaro spiked the softball at first base. The Delaware Blue Hens knocked the Michigan Wolverines off their horse in Michigan's first game at 8-2 Delaware. Dominant win through and through. They played at 5 in the top of the first and never looked back. The Blue Hens win at 8-2.
Yeah, they came out swinging. They won earlier today. Come up with the upset win here in Tampa over Michigan. And look, for Michigan, it's not the start you wanted, and it's quick to denounce this team, but this is nothing you can't fix. There were flashes of offense. There, Ferguson came up pretty big in some spots. She saw everything, and that's exactly what you want out of the freshman, just to experience the game, the college game, and get adjusted to it. And this is nothing Michigan and this coaching staff can't fix. Still early, got 1 game under the belt, got 4 to go this weekend, 1 coming up this afternoon, and you still got a whole season ahead. Still a lot to look forward for this Michigan team.
Absolutely. Obviously, you don't want to drop your opener, and certainly you don't want to drop your opener to a mid-major team.
Right.
It's a good mid-major in Delaware. We've talked about it, top of their conference the last couple of years, but obviously not an ideal start for Michigan, but still a lot to come this weekend, a lot to come this season if, you really turn things around. If you knock off Florida, I think this game is mostly forgotten when you look back in a few months and, what happened to USF-Rawlings Invitational for Michigan? They beat Florida, but obviously that's a tough task. Still a lot to go, and, a lot of season to play, and still a young group that's going to keep growing all year long.
Yeah, and I agree. And, I think of it, look more positively. At least you know what your weaknesses are. At least you know early on what you have to improve on, so you don't stay complacent. You always try, and that's what this coaching staff does, and that's what they do so well at developing this young talent, just making this team better and better, and that's what made this program so good last season, and I don't doubt their ability to do it again this season.
Well, Michigan plays once more later this afternoon against USF. Everything might get pushed back a little bit. This Michigan game went long by about 40 minutes, so a half-hour delay till the next one, and we'll see when the Michigan-USF contest actually does get started, but would love to have you join us for that one. Should be a good one as Michigan looks to pick up their first win this season in 2025. TJ, any final thoughts to wrap this one up?
No, I mean, again, not the start anybody expected. There showed some flashes. There were some good points in this game, of course, but nothing you can't improve on, and I can't wait to see what they improve on, at just around 4:30, 5 o'clock. So we'll see. Excited to see the rest of this weekend.
Well, thank you for joining us for this one. Season opener for Michigan. They drop it 8-2 to the Delaware Blue Hens. Impressive effort from Delaware. We'll stick with you for the rest of this USF-Rawlings Invitational. Join us on WCBN Sports. For the rest of it, for TJ Fossmeyer, I'm Alex Miller. We'll talk to you soon. Good afternoon, and go Blue. See you in a bit, folks.